Welcome to Skypiercer Part 2. When we last left our party, there was a great commotion in the banquet halls of Korthun as Vythorn, the Endless Scholar, a figure from the Grandmaster, Elusia's past, as he comes through the portal and informs her father is indeed dead after all of these years, and that it was her uncle, the Shadow King, who was responsible for his demise. This came as some news to Elusia, who was unaware of this fact. He also informed the party that under the Shadow King's rule, the Void was being strangled, choked by the chaos magic that the Shadow King was attempting to wield as he siphoned it from mages from around the Void, causing natural disasters and all sorts of calamities to befall the people of the Void. Begging Elusia to return to claim her rightful place and to save her people, she reluctantly agreed, and alongside her, Atalantos and Kaya have also agreed to join her on this quest. They've agreed that 3 days will pass before they will return to the Void, as Vythorn needs to recharge his magical energies. So in this time, in these 3 days, our party is going to be preparing for this coming journey. Atalantos, in these 3 days, what does your life look like? What are you doing? What loose ends are you tying up? Tell us about your world here.
Atalantos probably at this point would be making sure to train to no end. They know that the journey up ahead is going to be probably one of their toughest ones yet, and they are not taking it lightly. They're making sure that all sort of soldiers are that are going to be left behind, that they're going to be well, and rest assuring that everything will be well in the likes of their departure, as well as they have their orders, as well as having the likes of their spirits high before their commander begins to head out into battle, whether they die a glorious death or whether they are live to return and lead them on for the next battle. That's what Atalantos would probably be doing throughout these couple of days.
Atalantos, as you make your preparations, let's see real quick. Oh, that's not good. As you make your preparations, you tying up some loose ends about the things that have been going on in your life, as you mentioned there. But there's one piece that still sticks out to you. That soldier, that drunken soldier that you encountered at the feast, Lucius. You checked in to see, if he was going to fulfill his oath, only to find him passed out in a local tavern during your time. Having it seemed like you had made an impression on him, his vices got the better of him. And so as you're preparing, it's a situation you don't necessarily have time to fix this man's life. You did what you could, but you see him on your way out, and just kind of sticks with you that image that maybe you could have done a little bit more if you were staying. It was that guilt of leaving. Maybe kind of washes across you for a moment as he's made his choice in life. Kaya. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, please.
Everyone kind of makes their sort of choices. This definitely does hurt Atalantos, even though in reality he's only known this individual for so long, but he still treats everyone, whether they're a soldier or not, pretty much the same or equal, having high expectations for them, because he believes that everybody can do well in this life. So it does sadden him, but at most what he will do is he will try to contact one of the other fellow soldiers and just say, "That one, Lucius, make sure to look after them. Make sure that they do not end up dead in an alleyway. Make sure they are alive and well for when I return. For when I do, the only drink they will need is water after a long training session and a long fought battle. Farewell."
I'll do what I can, sir. I'm not sure I can make any promises with him, though.
Let's see as he sort of chuckles and nods before patting him on the shoulder, putting the helmet on, and heading out.
Okay. Kaya, during these 3 days of preparation, is there anything that you were trying to do to loose ends to tie up, or friends, family that you were saying goodbye to? What's going on with Kaya?
The funny thing is, a person in my profession, you find that a lot of your associates are dead, so you don't have to worry about their feelings. Loose ends neatly take care of themselves. I do spend the next few days, however, preparing for the trip ahead. There is no certainty that I will have the resources that I need to be my most efficient self. So I am gathering supplies. I hope that I can get a potion of healing, at least, somewhere.
You could, yeah, you can absolutely.
Please. Okay.
Yeah, you can. In fact, you all can just go ahead and take a greater potion of healing.
Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead and. Go for
Yeah,
it.
that would have really helped in our last fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to make sure that we don't experience another event like that again, we'll be prepared this time. And I'm gathering various reagents and material needs that I might have as a person of spellcasting. And I will look over various haunts of this place that I frequented. The library I've grown quite fond of. I have a intricate relationship with the various halls here, and I will miss them. They've grown on me, and it's always been a nice, quiet place where I can escape the rabble of the people around me. The good thing about being a necromancer is that my army is portable. I just need to find fresh recruits. Hopefully, there will be aplenty where we go.
Yeah, and as you kind of say your goodbyes to the city, maybe, and the libraries of this city are very ornate, as is everything, very handcrafted, tall columns and marbles, and the smell of the libraries here have that distinct smell of old books and dust that you can take on your way as a memory at the very least.
Well, perhaps maybe a little more than that. I think I've been seduced by the scent, and I think I will even steal a book. That way I can carry the scent with me wherever I go.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's a nat 20.
There's no one here.
Yeah.
Who can report the crime?
Yeah, you know what? This is such a trustworthy city. They don't even have a librarian. Everyone's so honorable here, except you, that they don't even need a librarian.
Except you.
It doesn't matter. What is morality anyway, except something that gets in the way? Yoink, I'll take 2, in fact.
Take the whole damn library if you want.
Okay. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I tuck away 2 tomes, and they will be my companions on this journey ahead.
Okay, perfect. Are these tomes anything specific, anything of value or of note? Or are they just 2 tomes you enjoy?
I think one will be a steamy romance, and the other will probably be something on the arcane arts.
Very nice. All right. And Elusia. In the 3 days leading up to this, you have a lot to consider. The words of Vi Thorn ring in your head over and over again. You knew your father had died, although you had never really gotten a full confirmation of that. It's been 300 years. It's a long time, but all of those feelings now are fresh in your memory. The memories of the Knights of Chaos and their sacrifice to help you escape, and the thoughts of your uncle, a man you knew and perhaps were fond of at one point, betraying your father and leading your people into darkness, or whether or not you consider them your people anymore. These thoughts ringing in your head. What do you do? What are you thinking? And over the next 3 days.
Elusia finds herself going back between two locations just to meditate in quiet as she reflects on who she is and who she wants to be. So much time has passed that she had given up any idea of being royalty so often that she keeps going back to that banquet hall, now empty, occasionally servants going through, but sitting on the spot where she first arrived. That moment when she appeared in this plane for the very first moment, swords drawn all around her as an unwanted guest, in fear of what was going on, how she fled, and how in so much of her life she had worked to move past beyond that. A story in which she had no answers for, so she couldn't pursue any longer. And then that stone floor, she had laid it to rest to find her birth anew here. It was in that banquet hall that she became who she was, more of a warrior than of a leader. Finding the halls empty of advice and guidance, she then travels towards the temple, down far below to the halls of the dead where the royalty has been laid, to visit each of them who had guided and mentored her along the way. And she speaks with the dead, though as far as I know, they do not answer.
How do you try to speak with them?
She brings offerings of wine, of course, to the dead, because what else can you offer them but such comforts? At least with her capabilities. Kaya could probably do a few other things. But she brings such wine and sits at their decayed feet as they lay uncovered on top of stone tabs, their histories carved into the rock below them. And what carvings will I have at my feet? She'll wonder out loud. What stories am I worthy of creating? And she'll trace their own histories of honor and justice, of building a nation of strength, of glory, where its citizens rally behind not just their leaders, but in all, as each individual matters.
As you sit in this place, in this tomb of sorts, where all of the dead emperors and empresses lie, that feeling around you, you don't get a response, but you feel these people. You feel the memory of them, as some of them have imparted wisdom onto you, and you feel that twinge of pain that your lifespan is so much longer than the people's here, and the memories of having to come to terms with death and loss, something that is not as much of an issue for you in the void. You remember back to the early days under the Empress Juntakar, as she trained you on the battlefield, in the fighting pits, to be a warrior, the first of many to instruct you in their culture's fighting techniques and styles and strategies, as she distinctly knocks you to the ground with a large tower shield. You feel the metal press against your face even now as a memory, as she looks down on you and reminds you to stand on your feet, to keep your ground at all times, lest those that you are protecting will be vulnerable. And as you remember this scene, as she's instructing you in the ways of the champions of honor to protect those around you, to fight for justice and truth. For a moment, you remember that, but then you are still sitting alone in this tomb.
Because I spend so many hours there, the candles have melted quite low. So if any of my party were to find me, it would be in a very dim light, just a few candles, inches from disappearing at the very end of the halls.
Unfortunately, I would not seek out your company because who knows how long I'll be stuck with you from here on out. I'm going to enjoy my silence in the library for as long as I can.
We'll see as Atalantos will begin to start approaching, but noticing the entire sort of scene playing out before them, they'll respectfully keep their distance, but they'll look around and sort of examine all of the, well, just pretty much taking it all in for a moment before eventually nodding to seeing what the mission and journey ahead is. They'll look over towards Elusia before eventually beginning to say, I trust that you have done all of your preparations. And I'm not just talking about the physical preparations. Mentally, emotionally, have you not?
And she'll sigh for a moment before turning to you. Atalantos, how does one prepare for this? War is one thing, but leadership, to take over, to demand it, is another thing. How do you know if you are worthy?
You'll see as I'll begin to think for a moment before they chuckle. How do you know that you are worthy? Well, one could dwell on whether they are worthy or whether they are good enough for a certain thing. You can dwell on that for however long you wish, hours, days, weeks, but it wouldn't change anything. Instead of focusing on that, instead of thinking, simply just do. Be the best that you can be today. And then tomorrow, be even better. And repeat over and over again. Always stay to improve. Once you believe yourself to be worthy, then everyone else around you will also. That is at least how I did it.
Your armies follow you without question.
That is only because you must forget, I was just a simple gladiator at first, and then eventually signing up to be a soldier. They didn't hand me the likes of general status, no, no. But like I said, I worked for it. I outworked everyone that I could, but I did it not for approval of everyone else. I did it for my approval, knowing that whether I lived or died, I was proud of what I had left.
proud of what I have done. Tell me, Elusia, are you proud of what you have done so far?
Here in this plane, I am. I've considered my life complete, the trajectory clear of what I should do and how I can serve. But now a new door is opened, a new story unfolds before my feet, and I don't know if I can step through that portal. I don't know what that pathway will look like. If it's to my death, if it's to my life, and what that looks like. Those around me, do I have any to support me there? Will I be a tyrant in that space? Am I just bringing bloodshed?
And you'll see as Atalantos will look towards her and kind of seeing a piece of him when he was younger, and begin to eventually say,
You are not bringing bloodshed. The reason why that you have been brought upon, or with this likes of this grand quest, these opportunities, is because that you earned them with your past. You've earned them with your accomplishments. They would not hand this out to just anyone if they did not view you fit for this job, fit to rise to the occasion. Now, whether you believe in yourself, I know that me and Gaia, we do. I know that it is stereotypical, but at least believe in the me who believes in you.
Are you sure about coming with me then?
I am as sure as when I put this helmet on, grab this spear and grab this shield. I did not get ready for nothing. Don't tell me that you are going to make me go put it back and such.
No, no. I suppose I should go claim my birthright. I should defend my people. Let's see if we can steal Kaya from the library, but I was hoping before we leave if we could do one last thing, one small mission.
What would that be?
Well, do you remember at that banquet hall, before the interruption and all that, there was a proposal laid at our feet.
Yes.
One that would hurt the people, the water supply. I worry if we leave with that information and do nothing about it, that, well, the politicians will have their way.
And that is true. We should definitely take care of that first.
Perhaps we could persuade them to take other action in different means. She'll smile a bit slyly at that notion.
I understand you have something up your sleeve. Well, let us not waste time here. Are you done?
And in that final moment, she'll take the wax of the small waning candles, and as you've seen before, these bodies have layers and layers of wax lined over them as each departing member offers their final prayers and thoughts as the light goes out with the pouring of wax over them. May you rest peacefully and know that your legacy will go beyond the plains. And she'll bow ever so slightly at the feet and kiss the stone in which their legacies were carved upon. I guess it's time to cause one last trouble. What are they going to do? Kick us out?
They can certainly try, but as far as I'm concerned, we shall let chaos reign.
Chaos indeed. Let's go to the library, pick up Kaya, because I know she won't want to miss on this opportunity.
And her books. I will never understand. Let's go.
I am absolutely nose deep in a book.
Loudly barging into the library. Kaya!
Maybe if I don't answer, they'll go away.
Where are you? Or we'll push one of the bookshelves down.
Disrespectful.
You see as Atalantos is getting ready to like, oh, they're already in the motion for getting ready to push one of the bookshelves down.
Oh, you
From
weren't serious.
between two pillars of books, I emerge. Hello, it seems you found me.
Good. We thought you were hiding in here and we'd never find you. This is honestly the easiest way to get her out of here. What is it that you're reading? And she'll get rather close and almost like reach towards your book in your hand.
I pull it away. Can you roll a perception check?
Yes.
Can I impose that on you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
I hope so.
Go for it.
I'll roll a sleight of hand. I rolled a 1. Oh my god.
Oh no.
You totally see this.
You're all
I can't
crits.
pop my character out.
Hit C on your keyboard, it'll pop up.
Oh, okay. That's so much easier. Okay.
It's a steamy romance novel.
Yes.
It is something that would make even the most well-traveled and most confident person blush. But Kaya doesn't have any blood in her face, so she looks unflustered.
Oh.
Can I help you?
Light reading? Immediately, Elusia's face will go blush, noticing some of the content in there. Some heavy reading.
Oh, this little thing? I present it to you. I was hoping to take this along with me.
For for the story? For the she's just mumbling through her words.
Dear Lucia, you don't read these sort of books for the story.
Oh, but of course, you read it for battle tactics and such. Well thought.
That is the way you can put it, yes. Techniques.
You just see her kind of start to hyperventilate a little bit as she's like not making eye contact with you anymore, looking at the book and trying to figure out what to say next. And she's just kind of frozen in that moment.
I let it linger for a moment, perhaps a bit cruelly, and then I put it away.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know if it's a good read. If there's helpful. You could share with me sometime.
Yeah.
The way if you find a good chapter.
Oh, perhaps I'll read it out to you over dinner sometime. But we still have some time before we're supposed to leave. Why are you here?
Oh! She'll nudge Atalantos. Tell her.
We, if you remember, last time we had a more of a proposition proposed to us about certain bits of water possibly being taken away from the people. Does this jog your memory?
Does the aqueducts?
Mm-hmm. We are looking to deal with that or handle that matter before we leave, for if we do not, then I fear that even a couple of the roads and streets that I used to sort of roam about, kids and children, they will not have any water to sort of go on and survive. They'll have to find other means that could be miles away.
Well, I suppose I could try to keep an eye out on some herbs on our way there. Maybe I'll scrounge something from the ground. All right, I'll come with you.
I figured it would be easy if we just visit their chambers directly. A confrontation, at least in their own space, might hit the message home a little bit more, you know?
I do like a direct tactic.
That way they realize how what they do to others will also impact them equally.
I agree. This should probably be the best tactic. No reason to beat around the bush or anything.
Before we go, perhaps it might behoove us to decide ahead of time. I have had a few accidents in the past, and perhaps I don't want to embarrass you, dear Lucia, on our last few days here. Are we putting killing the man on the table, or is that something that we want to hold in reservation?
How is that? Is that allowed in this country, in this place? Can
That's a
we
good
just
question.
murder people?
I mean,
Just casually admitting to accidentally murdering people.
Do we have a
uh,
right as like generals? Like,
I mean,
Challenge them to combat.
the main protecting force of this city is called the Champions of Honor, but it's a city that's murder is not unknown. There are lofty ideals here about honor and righteousness, but underneath those ideals, there are plenty that are, just as scummy as anywhere else, and murder is not uncommon.
If there's a look of concern on either of your faces, I pick my nails and I say, and if you're worried about a body being left behind, you know I'm very good about that.
what, are you going to bring him with us?
Oh no, I'm going to explode him into a mist.
Oh, that... who am I to judge? Fucking blood and shit with me. So, exploding corpses. This is new, but strangely effective. I
We'll,
guess.
yeah, we'll write a note like he went out to the countryside or something visiting, so it'll be fine.
Well, I'll follow your lead, whatever we decide.
Are you? No. So there were two individuals at play here. There was Glotoon, the sleazy politician,
Uh-huh.
and there was
Plintos.
Plintos, which is the guy who's going to be trying to redirect the aqueduct, who's trying to acquire the rights to this land. So which are we going after here?
Head of the snake?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, Plintos himself. Make me a survival check, all of you.
You got it.
I rolled a 3.
Let's see if the dice rolls are a little bit better.
18?
Yeah, okay. With a 18, with a 14, like I think on average enough. It's a large city, but Plintos is a man of considerable wealth, and his tastes are a bit gauche. So you would know where he lives, and from here you may not know exactly how to get there, but the light of that singularity in the sky being pulled across space, that red sunset hue, it's almost unmistakable the direction you need to go to find Plintos, because his house is almost completely gilded. It's just covered in a plated gold over the marble, and that red light just completely bounces off and just gives us this crazy, almost a rose gold with the red hitting the actual gold glow that just shines out, and it's almost blinding at the right angle when the light streaks at just the right angle. It's like looking into the sun to a degree, as the light from this place literally fills the alleyways and streets that lead directly away from it. So it takes you a minute to orient yourself here from the library, but you can easily find this place, and It is a large estate, very large.
I can't believe that he covered the marble with gold. I'm gonna just take a dagger and kind of like try to chip off some of this gold.
Make a strength check or an attack, whichever you like, depending on how you're gonna do it.
I'm just scraping it. I'm not like jabbing it in on this end, so
Make an attack with your dagger or whatever you're using.
okay. It's a 15.
Yeah, you cut into this gold, and it's gold is a fairly malleable metal. You're able to scrape a good chunk out of this, and you see that the gold, it's not just a surface level coating of gold. It is a deep layer, as if this thing was cast in gold. But as you cut away, you get an inch or so in, then there's marble underneath that your knife doesn't quite dig into. And as that gold chips off and you have it in your hands, the second that you chip that gold off of that, an artisan comes running out of nowhere. It's as if he's just been here this whole time and butts right in front of you. What are you doing? You have to get out of here before he sees that. As he begins taking molten gold that he's carrying with him and filling back in that space. As this is not the first time that people, commoners, have come to chip off a piece of the wealth. There's a full-time crew here regilding this place at all times. You have to get out of here.
Now this is a bit silly.
He's going to have your hands for this.
We'll give them our hands ourselves. Where do we find him?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that.
Maybe we should get him to come to us then.
We only want a conversation.
I understand, but I don't even get to see him. I couldn't get you an audience. There's no way. And if he even knew I was talking to you about this, he would probably kill me.
Then you haven't seen or heard anything, and Elusia is going to walk further into the building.
You could, and
I follow.
It's open. It's not even the pretense of security here. There's just so much wealth that it's not even necessary to defend it. As everything is gilded and covered in fine like velvets and all silks and satins. Every piece of furniture as you walk in, columns 30, 40 feet high, large archways in Gothic style. It's this nice mixture of a Roman and a Gothic style. On the inside, it's more Gothic, but the outside's got that Roman facade. As you walk in, and everything's just very fine. There's seats everywhere, as if there are large parties hosted in this massive hall in the entryway. And as you walk in, there begins to be servants and workers scurrying about. It's still fairly early in the day, so they're making preparations, cleaning up, running around with some sort of linens and laundries and things like that. Obviously, maybe making beds or remaking beds. This place is immaculate, though. If there is anything out of place that you would see, a cup left over, a pillow out of place, it is immediately fixed by an attendant somewhere, someone who is paid to just constantly monitor that specific location.
Atalanta's sort of looking at all of this. They've never seen like this much wealth in their life. They're kind of just overwhelmed by all of this. They'll kind of accidentally stumble into somebody like, sorry, my bad. And then they'll kind of walk over towards the pillar, eventually not even noticing that there's signs around it. They're just stumbling around like a child lost.
Yeah, and you know that Plintos, he's the leader of the Merchants Guild here, and has made just a fortune. You're not exactly sure, but there are rumors about his doings and about the nature of his work, and may or may not rip people off from time to time. Nothing necessarily, murderous or nefarious outright or anything like that, but definitely some shady business practices is the talk about town, but no one has the wealth to challenge him, and certainly the Emperor, who gladly accepts his patronage for projects around the realm, is not going to slaughter his own cash cow, as it were. So he's in a nice position to embed himself really in any society he wants. Anything he wants, he has gotten. He's got a reputation for not taking no for an answer. But there are a large set of stairs here that lead up to what you could presume are the living quarters of this space. The chamber. It's a large open feasting party hall, kind of in the foyer. But as you go up, that would be the more living quarters.
I hate to ask this question.
Sure.
But does he have a family?
You know what? Let's find out right now.
That's a good question.
Let's find out. He has several.
What?
No.
Oh.
Please explain.
He
Elaborate.
He is a man of. He is a collector of sorts.
Oh.
Even he's got a collector.
That's a very interesting word
Yes.
choice there.
Tapestries and fine things. He
And
is
families?
He is a greedy. He is a greedy man. And multiple families, multiple wives, multiple children, all who reside in this place. It's a large enough place, and he keeps the things that he considers his collections close.
I see.
Yeah, no,
God.
creepy, right?
It's got worse.
I mean, he's already a scumbag. We might as well just go all the way in, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
As we're maneuvering through, I look entirely unimpressed. I just scowl at the various things. This is the sort of person who feels like they've got to prove something.
Question is to who? Himself? Is this all for him?
It has to be. Who else would it be for?
It's an appetite for sure. It's all gaudy. She's gonna pick up like some of the silverware plates as they're going through that area. Like, this is hideously ornate.
I do not understand the purpose of why it looks this way, but I see it serves no real function for defense, but
Are there any like diamond-esque things lying around?
Oh yeah. There it's about everything you can imagine in here. Not only are there things encrusted in diamonds, mugs and cups, and even in the plates around the border of some plates there are jewels and things like that. But there are openly sacks of gold and jewels and diamonds laying freely. Everything else is very neat in this space, picked up, but when it comes to things of value, they're kind of just strewn about as if, oh, I forgot I dropped my bag of diamonds here. You know what I mean? Very in a showy kind of way, as if they're placed. A spilled bag of rubies on the countertop. Things like that. Just this whole place gives an air of a collection, of a museum almost in some ways. Doesn't seem like a real home.
Some things aren't just pretty. I'm gonna take one, like a small pouch of the like hard diamonds.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pocket that. if I may.
You absolutely can.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
As
Go ahead.
you begin to put it away, Kaya reaches over and gently puts one of her hands on your wrist just to pause you for just a second. Her fingers are very cold where they touch you.
Goosebumps.
I just want to give you a word of warning. these sort of things, they come at a price, and it is likely that he has not paid for it. Just keep in mind that whatever you do with these, that you should be careful. Sometimes history haunts objects, and the history might follow, and you wouldn't be deserving of their vengeance if there is any.
In a moment of hesitation, she'll look through these. Better for them to seek liberation outside of these gilded halls, right? Or to remain trapped in here with all these other trinkets.
Your intentions might be good and well, but sometimes things have a way of misdirecting.
I'm going to choose to still pocket the diamonds, but I'm going to keep those words a little hesitant, and she's going to put her hand over your fingertips that have been on my wrist. Well, at least I have a friend to help me.
Oh, yes. If there's a curse, I can take care of it. But
And
if it's
she'll
something more than that...
She'll curl her hands around yours just for a moment and give like a slight squeeze before releasing.
I withdraw, and then I go back to looking very unimpressed.
As you take those diamonds, somebody rushes out to spill more diamonds onto the counter.
Wow.
What is this decadence?
You'll see as Atalantis will stop them.
You, I require your finest diamond.
Require it for what? Elusia is just baffled to hear you, of all people, say this.
You'll see.
The finest diamond?
Yes, the finest diamond that you have. I require it.
That I cannot do. Take anything else you want. No one was even going to notice. But
No, I require the finest and only the finest.
But
You heard him.
that the finest diamond resides on a pedestal in Plintos' chambers. I don't have access.
I
Is it
require the second
upstairs?
finest diamond.
It is up the stairs with all of the living quarters, past all of the family rooms. Inside this place, he's got all of his families, all of his wives, all of his children. They each have almost like an entire house, as if it were a room in a hallway upstairs. It's at the end of the hall.
Gives them a knowing look. Okay, end of the hall.
But if I did not tell you this, and if you take the diamond, that is on you.
Rest assured, friend, this diamond will go to very good use. Know that your sacrifice has helped another life stay alive.
He's gonna scurry away. He dumps some diamonds, but he's got this giant sack of diamonds. He walks off to go refill the margarita cups full of diamonds somewhere else.
Oh my gosh.
These guys, man.
As we're walking, I will reach over and strum my fingers on the side of Atalantos' armor, and I'll say, "My friend, never settle for second best."
That is true. But, I mean, well, I don't think that we were planning on pulling an entire heist just to steal the diamond.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be doing much more than that.
I see.
See as they kind of squint towards you. Curious, but curious of what you have up your sleeve, but
It's murder!
I really wish you pulled out like the word murder from your sleeves.
I know,
right
I'll
there.
prepare it next time, I
Okay.
promise.
Oh no, Atalantis is completely just like, what do you mean? Honorable combat? We'll challenge them to a duel.
Yeah.
That's
Leaving
pretty
it purposefully vague.
That's what she means.
Elusia is almost like skipping down these hallways, excited that we're going to steal a diamond and maybe murder a person. It's like a 2-for-1 deal.
As you make your way up the stairs and down these long hallways, the doors are open to these rooms, and it truly is like entire. It's like mini mansions inside of a mansion. You see, children, some young, some older, more attendants, wives. Everyone looks to be content, living their lives, having food, talking, laughing. They all just live right here next to each other in this giant hall. And this, if you thought the entryway was tall, this hallway is just massive because these rooms are multi-storied mansions within a mansion. And likewise, there's gold and diamonds and rubies and all the finest things and foods that you could see, and trinkets, and there's less attendants refilling things here, while the outside and the main part of this hall are being attended to all the time. They're very open, and they invite thieves. They invite the common people in to see this spectacle of wealth, almost as if Plintos wants people to come into the entryway of his house and steal from him, just to see how much he doesn't care, how much he has. But as you get up into the upper hallway, there are less things being refilled. Things are still fine, but this is an area that even the commoners know, we can go in and steal the diamonds from the kitchen, but you don't go upstairs, as Plintos is still a very powerful man in the city. And at the end of this long hallway, 2 large iron doors lead to what you would assume is his chambers, given the information you have.
That said, I'll look over.
Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Atalantos will lead the charge. They will walk on in and sort of open the door, and as they do, they kind of push it, making it a little. They're not subtle. They just kind of abruptly throw the doors open.
Yeah, and as you do, you notice these doors. As I said, they're large iron doors, very different from everything here. As you throw open these doors, this room is decidedly plain, just undecorated. There's a small table and chairs. It's a very, very large room, but in it there's almost nothing. A bed. On the table in this place, you notice a set of papers, and if you look at them, feel free to make me a intelligence wisdom check.
I'll take a look, but I ain't using intelligence, I'll tell you that much.
Damn. I can't
You can do
charm
like,
the papers?
You can do like an investigation if you'd like to.
Okay, that's way better.
Cool.
If that's more your style. Oh, it's another
Dang.
all crits tonight. Oh.
That is definitely her style.
Actually, you know what? Here, we're gonna do this. This is the funniest narrative. All right, -1. Still rolled high. All right, 15.
Very successful so far.
Uh,
Yeah. With a nat 20, Kaya, you spend a lot of time in that library. And
Yes.
Atalantos, you're no stranger to reading up on tactics. You're very well read as well. Elusia, you apparently have spent your 300 years just training and nothing else.
Reading is hard, okay.
But as you see these papers and you unroll them, they are blueprints and schematics and plans drawn up for diverting this aqueduct in the south of the city. And as the plans dictate, it seems that rather than the aqueduct flowing to the fountains where it can be accessed by the commoners for drinking water, it's taking a veer off of that course and ending in a large location. It looks like some sort of man-made oasis, and there are pools of water and palm trees and plans for marble and granite slides. He's planning to build a water park.
God.
An opulent bathhouse with slides and a tidal pool, everything, the whole 9 yards.
I enter into the room and I sit my hip against the table and I kind of throw one leg over the other. I unfurl the papers and I'm telling my companions everything as I analyze it, everything that you've said. And then I throw the paper behind me. It looks like we're going to be building a water park over there. I mean, he is. We're going to be destroying all of those plans, of course, right?
Of course. What do we absolutely do not need a water park there. People live there. It's their home.
You mean to tell me this man plans on replacing water supply for survival with simple Aquan entertainment?
Seems so.
That is a similar term than what he used, yes.
See,
May I provide for you some aqua entertainment?
Atlantis is pissed.
Well,
When you all come visit us, I'm going to invite you to my aqua entertainment space.
He is lucky that I won't plague this water-filled fun place with his blood. Oh, goodness.
That actually sounds like quite a party. Is there at least a fountain nearby?
this nearby in the room or nearby?
Like, I assume because this room was fairly empty minus those things, right?
Yes. Well,
So did we pass a fountain nearby, like on our way in?
oh yeah, the hallways have fountains that spew water into them, kind of
Okay. But
continuously.
that was all around families, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, never mind.
yeah. There's no like secret fountain here. Everything's very in the open, very opulent.
Listen, I draw my line. I'm not gonna traumatize small children with the death of their father in a fountain.
That's fair.
I would like to begin to like tear the drawers of the desk open, perhaps even go over to the bed and pull apart the sheets. Just see if there's any secrets in this room.
Make me an investigation.
Okay.
You pull apart the desk drawers and it's more of the same. There are other projects. There are things that are a little bit more mundane. Financial records of his institution, which, no surprise, they reveal that he's infinitely wealthy. Nothing damning of any sort of nature other than that. There's no other nefarious indicators. They just look like more plans of a normal merchant's guild operating. The books, if you were a bookkeeper, they look fairly mundane, fairly normal. Obviously, he's a man who's kept close track of the records of his business, and that's something that seems to be important to him. But as you get to the bed and you pull it apart, you pull the covers off, that bed is not empty. As you rip the covers off of this bed, in sleeping attire, a skeleton, a dead corpse that has been, well, you would know, here a very long time.
I'm sorry,
Very, very good at telling how long someone's been dead.
Is there a difference between a dead corpse and a non-dead corpse?
Yes.
Oh, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's this figure is mostly a skeleton. There's still some sunken flesh onto the bones here, but in the rib cage, a golden dagger still remains.
Well, well, well. It is often in the bed that you will find secrets. Seems that our target has one right here. Hard to
What?
tell who this person was.
Make me an investigation check
Oh,
or perception, whichever. I don't know. Either one.
yeah.
I'll help you. I'll give you advantage.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. I said it before then.
With a 16, as you kind of, if you were to kind of peruse around this corpse and the things they're wearing, you'll notice a small moniker on one of the clothing items. There's somebody planning a water park, but it's not Plintos.
Oh, it seems someone's beat us to the chase. Dear Plintos, how dare you deny us your death?
How long has he been dead?
Hmm.
I'm gonna pick up like a hand and drop it back on the bed.
It breaks off.
Oh,
Assassinated. Definitely no glory in that.
This body has had enough time to be here and decay to a skeleton. Nearly.
I give a short monologue detailing the the body, the decomposition process
the
and the
body
timeline.
and stuff.
The body is dead and it go bye bye and I explain all of it.
science. Oh, okay. So Plintos isn't the one pulling the strings, but who is then?
Could it be someone that we know or another party involved?
Could have to be somebody else that we know. I mean, how many? Well, do we know who is close to Plintos? Or like who would? Well, is it?
You know that Glowtoon is the politician who was
Mhm.
advocating for this interest, and he said that his benefactor, the person paying him, was Plintos. That doesn't necessarily indicate that he was dealing directly, but that would be the only person you know personally that made mention of Plintos directly. Other than that, you would know about Plintos from stories. He's just so rich and powerful in the city that there are no shortage of stories, no shortage of people that know his name. But, do people see him out and about as much? Not so much.
I wonder why.
Question.
Yeah. I also have a question after you.
Okay. This is definitely up to the DM. Would you say, and I would know the answer to this question, but so I have anime undead.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to turn this skeleton, animate them, and would they have the intelligence to follow my command of write down the name of who murdered you?
With a hero point, I would let you have a chance, I think.
Okay. I'll let Sensei ask his question first.
Yeah, so it's more of how much money does Glowtoon have? Like, is he wealthy? And if not, could it possibly be a bit of envy may have got him? Maybe he did it? Yeah, so is he wealthier or not?
I mean, from what you saw at the party, he seemed wealthy, but not not this kind of wealthy. He wasn't encrusted in diamonds. You know, you're not hearing stories about Glowtune and his wealth and his opulence. So if he is extremely wealthy to a sickening degree, you don't have any indication of that. You know, he's kind of normal wealthy. You know?
Normal
wealthy.
Normal wealthy.
Just casually rich, you know.
None of us at this table know what that means.
He's like Ivy League rich, and you know, not I funded Amazon rich.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, definitely. Like, I doubt I can make a roll because it's obviously way past it. But I wouldn't ever get the sense of like this guy being like very envious or really interested or really involved with like the money
Roll
and all that stuff.
Roll me a history check.
Sure. I'm gonna suck at this.
You're gonna roll nat 20.
Let's see.
got this,
History. Where is history? There it is. 9.
A 9. I mean, this was only a matter of days ago, and he was a distinct character. So even with a 9, you know, you're not gonna remember every piece of the conversation, but and if the rest of you want to roll history checks, you can as well on this if you're trying to remember anything about Glowtune. You know, he came off as a with 13, he came off as a sleazy politician. He didn't seem insincere necessarily. It seemed like, you know, he was seemed like he was bought and paid for by somebody. And you know, it seems like perhaps he truly believes that person is Plintos. From a casual perspective, or at least, you know, gave the impression that, you know, Plintos was the one he was advocating for, who was paying his bribe or whatever it was. But you didn't necessarily get the sense of like envy or greed or anything like that. It just seemed, I'm not sure if you've had that interaction with a politician before. It just seemed like a normal, he's trying to, you guys all had been named generals, and he was just trying to take advantage of the situation to use you as an intermediary, to curry some favor with the emperor to sign off on this project. Because even though the emperor does take money from Plintos, as you would, he's not going to just, you know, willingly deprive half of his city of water.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, let me try something. There's no guarantee it'll work or if it'll come to any kind of fruition. I reach into my component pouch and I take out what looks like a piece of flesh. My tongue comes out and I put it in my mouth. I swallow it. You see me bring up a pinch of dust into my hand. I inhale it, and as I do, I take out a dagger and I prick my fingertip. And I smear it on the head of the skeleton. Now cast Animate Undead. And I'll use my hero point.
Okay. As you do, well, go ahead and make me a flat D20 roll.
Okay.
Okay. As you do,
Barely.
your 7 beats the 6 of this corpse. So with your hero point, as you do, this corpse sits up. Where am I?
You are in your home, but you're not going to be the one asking questions. And as I push forward a command, you can see purple smoke just roiling out of my mouth, and it just dissipates. I want you to go over to the desk, grab a quill, and write the name of the person who killed you.
Okay. He gets up, and it's all bones at this point, so it's just a very, like, rickety, like, there's no stabilization of muscles or anything, and, but as he's reanimating, he's trying to walk normal, but he's just, like, the bones are cracking because they're old and brittle now. Been dead a very long time. And as he gets to this desk, he goes to write with the hand that Elusia broke off, and then grabs the quill with his other hand and dips it in ink, and it's like a child drawing with a crown almost, because there's just no motor function as he scribbles 2 words on a piece of parchment. And as he does, his skeleton crumbles to ash. That piece of paper, you gonna look at it?
Yes.
The 2 words on this piece of paper, written in a scribbled font. My wife.
That's
So many of them. Which one?
Yeah.
I pick up the paper. I look disgusted. I show it to my companions.
Are you kidding me? How many wives does he have?
He's really making it easy on us.
Well, as you recall, the hallway was lined with miniature mansions. A dozen or more families in these places, all covered in opulence, all seeming to be having a great time. Everyone seeming to be doing well, enjoying themselves in this place.
Oh no.
What a messy little problem.
Do you think that maybe when he says the wife killed him, maybe it wasn't just the one conspiring? They all look so happy and content here. Not a single one of the wives that we passed looked upset or concerned.
I think that we might run into a complication of we assumed the person who killed him is also the person in charge of these plans.
One thing that I don't understand is the wives would also have to know the corpse, it had been dead for so long. I'm not sure if they were all in on it, but they have to at least be aware.
Yes. Somebody should have known. Is there some sort of record keeping as to who visited him? Is there like a visitor's book at the front?
I don't. Maybe there was when he was alive, but this room seems to have been. It's starting to maybe make a little more sense as the room has been stripped of anything that was in here. It's decidedly plain compared to the rest of the place.
They took it.
The diamond isn't here either.
It is not.
Maybe whoever has the diamond.
Another thing that we can do as a test, and I will cast Mage Hand, and you see this spectral claw appear. I would like to use the Mage Hand to pick up the gold dagger that was in his chest, and I'll secret it away into my bag without touching it, in case it's cursed. I just assume everything is cursed.
Smartness.
We can present the murder weapon, and perhaps it might fluster the murderer.
That's true. Especially if we do it in front of others, someone might recognize it.
I have something that might be able to help with this if we are to question individuals. Now, I will be the first to admit I'm not the greatest at reading people, but a simple slight nudge when you think that we might have an interesting individual, and I can work a bit of hemocraft, if you will.
Good.
Interesting.
You take this dagger. What are you gonna do with it?
Should we perhaps maybe talk to the servants, right? They would know last meals brought here, or who told them not to change the bed sheets. She's gonna look over at the bed. with that imprint of body still there, I assume.
Yeah. Everything's covered in a fine layer of dust. Aside from the table where those plans were, it doesn't really look like anybody's disturbed anything else here. So if there were servants attending places that they haven't been in here in a while.
Oh man.
I also have an idea. The one individual we met upon first arriving here, he said that he had orders-ish that no one could see Plentos, or even they could not meet with Plentos. Who gave them the orders, or who let them know of that?
Let's follow that train of thought. Yes. Elusia is going to begin to run back down those halls to try to find the dude. And if he's not right there, I'm going to just start scraping the walls again until he shows back up. Pocketing more shaved gold.
If you cut into the walls, he shows back up.
Oh wait, real quick. I just thought about this because just to make sure for my brain, where was the big the number one diamond? Was it in this room or was it somewhere else?
It was supposed to be in his chambers. It was supposed to be on the pedestal in here, but there is no pedestal.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure. Okay.
This room has been picked clean.
Yes.
Huh. As he shows up, the little dude. Who told you that we weren't allowed to see Plentos?
It's I don't know. It's common knowledge. Nobody sees Plentos.
No, somebody had to tell you, right?
I'm just following orders.
From who? Who gave you the orders?
Well, he's thinking about it. Well, I suppose.
Are you Googling names right now?
No, he's thinking.
No, he's thinking.
He's definitely thinking.
I suppose it would be the Plentos' son.
Got it. Which one is that?
Oh no.
The eldest.
Whose name is...
Throm.
And the location.
Yes. Did you
Ron?
say
Throm.
Oh, I thought you said LeBron.
Not LeBron.
Their son, LeBron James.
This guy is not. He pours gold for a living. He's not super bright. Throm is the name of the oldest son.
Throm.
Adding it to my notes, just in parentheses, also not LeBron James.
Not LeBron.
Importante information.
Perfect. Thank you. No, you can go.
Okay. Please stop scraping the gold. As he hustles off with his pot of molten gold.
Elusia, a little slyly, is going to shoulder up to Kaya and kind of bump her a little bit. So a little trickery could be in play if you're game.
Yes.
How many actually know that Plentos is dead, or if he made a reappearance? Who would seem surprised most of all?
You remember my little tricks?
You've got a lot up your sleeve, and she's gonna kind of gently run her hand up your forearm.
My arm is ice cold.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get goosebumps again from this. I'm trying to be brave here, and you are freezing me out.
Literally. You see my eyes are drawn to your hand, and I watch your fingers, and I look up to you. I'm surprised you remembered.
I'm gonna pull back and kind of blush. Well, of course, I remember a lot of what you can do. And I'm gonna start walking ahead a little bit so you can see my very embarrassed face that I've been keeping track of your things.
I follow slowly. Just let me know when you want me to put on a good face.
Atalantos, are you game for this? As I'm trying to recover again. I can't
They're
ever
just-
outdo you.
They're just completely oblivious to what the hell is going on. They're like, what? Anyways, all right. They'll begin to say,
Yes, I am ready to continue. I'm game.
We'll put on a show. Let's gather all the families around in that center hallway and call forth perhaps the wives and the eldest son.
No time to waste. Let's get a move on. We need to handle this situation before it gets worse or before we run out of time.
See if you can bang on your shield to summon them all. I don't know what the best way is, but these halls will echo somehow.
I reach over to a crystal something and I just knock it off the table in the hallway or whatever.
Very
Yeah.
cat-like.
There's a large cherub statue made of a diamond, like a giant diamond.
Dang.
As you
So
knock,
it doesn't shatter.
it breaks. It makes a loud noise. It doesn't shatter, but it chunks as it hits this ground and you know like an arm of it breaks off and instantly they're bringing out a new statue to replace it.
You there. Go summon all the wives, or I will keep breaking things.
They just like nervously nod, like, and then they look up, and all of the wives are at the top of the steps at this point, and the children. They've heard this commotion. They heard you open the doors of Plintos. They've seen strangers now walking up and down this hall where people don't normally go. They've all kind of followed you down here, and they're all standing there with what you can assume is the eldest son, who is much taller than the rest and much broader, large black beard, finely dressed, but no one's overly dressed compared to the decor here. Everyone's appropriately dressed for the occasion, I guess. As he makes his way down the stairs and taking his tunic and his robes and kind of tossing it over the one shoulder as he walks down the stairs. Can we help you?
Yes. We are here because there was an attempted murder.
Attempted murder?
Attempted. Fortunately, it was not successful, as help was received in time, but we're here to seek out some answers.
Well, certainly if you're with the authorities of some sort.
We are of the General Guard.
Council members. Well, welcome to our home. Please take anything you'd like. Anything.
We desire nothing. She'll look to her compatriots for a moment, right?
Perhaps there's other
No,
something else.
actually, along with answers, I require your finest diamond.
Well, the finest diamond is in my father's chambers. There's no way you could have that. That's our anything
You're
but that.
lying. We were in your father's chambers. In fact, the reason he has eluded death is because I am a necromancer and I have brought him back.
His eyes get very big at this news. Well, there's nothing. There's no one to. What do you mean? There's no one to. He's not dead, so you couldn't have raised him from the dead. That's impossible.
Kaya, could you go and retrieve our survivor?
Of course, it would be my pleasure. I swish my cloak dramatically. And I head towards Plintos's room and I close the door.
This is I don't know what you're trying to pull here. If it's money you want, you can have it.
Why would we desire money? We are
Everyone
simply
desires
here.
money. Look at this place.
I do not. I only require answers. Now, we only request that's So please, deliver them.
Do any of the wives look uncomfortable or fidgeting a little bit more?
Not particularly. They're all kind of. They seem casual.
Casual about the news of their.
They seem casual.
I mean, I don't think he's well loved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if they they haven't seen him in a while. It doesn't seem like they care.
Okay.
Throm is speaking with authority as if he's speaking for the families. And everyone else seems to be kind of content to let him speak.
Can I make an insight check on him? I just want to see like the general vibe of like how he's sort of feeling. Like, is he extremely nervous? Like, oh god, they caught me, or like how he's feeling right now? Insight. Yeah. 24.
You get a definite wave of nervousness from him. His eyes got very big for a moment, and then he recomposed himself very quickly. And I'm not sure that he's outright sweating bullets at this point, but I think that he I just don't think that he believes you. I don't think that whatever he knows about this situation, I don't think that he believes that you all know fully. You said some strange things and his father was still alive, but I think he's reassuring himself inside that that's just impossible. That no, that's not true. The way his eyes got though, he knows. he knows some stuff.
And Kaya hasn't returned yet? Okay. I will more so, if you, Elusia, want to take the lead on this, they'll kind of look over towards you and kind of giving you a knowing look to that conversation that I mentioned before, the hemocraft. They'll look for you to sort of take the lead on this. And as this is sort of happening, you'll see as behind Atalantos's back, you'll see as his hand begins to start turning this sickly color, almost like a little bit strange purple for a moment, begins to twist into that of almost a golden divine look. And as it does, I'm going to use my blood curse of the anxious on him. And as this happens, a bit of his form begins to sort of shock for a moment, and all intimidation checks against him have advantage. Well, only for this next until my next turn. So if you got something to say it now.
So tell me, who has been taking care of your father's business? And I'm going to approach him and be very direct, almost putting my hand on my sword at that point too.
My father's business.
His business deals.
Taken
Who
care
manages
of
it?
by my father. He takes care of his own business and his many.
Who goes into his room to help him with this?
No one. No one sees him unless he wants you to
no one has gone into his room at all, and I'm going to kind of push him a little bit more like into his space.
Roll an intimidation.
Kind of go nose to nose.
With advantage.
You have advantage.
Oh god.
Oh no.
No.
He pushes his chest against your sword. Not enough to stab himself, but he does not back up as you push in. He pushes against your blade. Like I said, no one sees my father, not even me.
Do I know if he's lying on that?
I would say with that intimidation roll, he seems pretty confident in that
Dang it,
fact.
okay,
Whether
fair.
he's truthful or not is a whole different story, but he's confident, and as he's giving you a poker face at the very least.
Can I pick out which one is his mother?
I don't think that would be discernible.
Well, like he would look more like her, right, than some of the others.
Make me a nature check or a medicine check. Let's see what your medical degree is.
If this doesn't work, I got one last thing.
17.
With a 17, you might be able to pick it out. There's several dark-haired women and dark-haired children. Many look similar in a way, but I don't know that you could. I don't know that you could distinctly say this is his mother.
Which one is your mother? And I'm going to kind of hold my short sword out, pointing to each of the women that look like mothering age. I don't know. I might be insulting.
This is. I've had enough of this. This is none of your concern or business. In our home, we've allowed you to come in as a guest. You don't get to come in here and just ask whatever you want of whoever you want, threatening us.
Actually, we do. And she's going to keep pointing her knife until, I don't know if his voice will pitch a little bit more if her knife reaches the throat of the right woman.
Make an intimidation with advantage.
I will say this.
Rolled against a 10.
Yes.
Do a,
Meat beats.
Yes.
Yeah.
we're gonna do a straight D20 roll off.
Ah, dang it.
Rollies.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh no.
What?
What? Who is this guy?
Just roll the 20. Just roll the 20. You
Just
got
roll.
Yeah,
Let me
just
roll
roll
a
a
20.
20.
No, I
Yeah,
rolled
you
a
got
5.
You know what? Because of Atalantos' I'll give him a disadvantage.
It doesn't matter.
13. Damn. The GM
All
tried
right.
to give it to us.
I know.
Really tried. I
Didn't
feel bad for
work.
asking again.
I rolled the lowest on everything.
I'll ask you one more time to leave.
I think it's at. Go ahead.
I'll do one last thing.
Yeah, go.
They'll sort of step in, place a shoulder on, or place a hand on their shoulder, and they'll begin to say,
Look, friend, we only wish to help out. We only wish to... Our interest is in the best of the populace and such. We do not wish to harm anyone. However, our patience is running a little bit thin. We can go about our way, and we don't have to have this conversation ever again. But please, let us not waste any more time.
and all right, he's going to use two things. He's going to use his Blood Curse of the Anxious one more time, and he's going to use his Martial Adept feature. He's going to use Commanding Presence to add a d6 to this. This is all I got. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to say. The dice want what the dice want. All right, so Intimidation. Hiya! 19 plus a d6, please. That's a big 6. That's 25.
He's not scared of Elusia, but he's scared of you.
Oh,
You're an
Gosh.
imposing figure in your armor. And Elusia still just hasn't quite figured out who she is, I guess.
Should have cleaned my armor.
Should
like
have
Atalantos.
actually stabbed him. Maybe that'd have worked.
I guess so. Just
So, but your the weight of your hand is just imposing on him. And what is it you want to know, friend?
look towards Atalantos. Or not Atalantos. I look towards Elusia. Look at themselves.
Look at the what?
Look at
you.
Elusia for you to basically like, all right, I got him where we need him to be. Take it from here. They're really, you can probably tell like from this passive insight, they're more so trying to have you sort of do this for
Got it.
practice rather than anything.
Oh.
Sneaking up kind of behind and whispering in his ear. The House of Plentos is in chaos, which means that's chaos for the realm. We're here to help you get your house in order.
I don't. You're speaking in riddles. There's no chaos here. Everyone's happy. We were perfectly fine until you just showed up.
Your father was almost murdered, and somebody has been pretending to be him, and you think everything is fine. To not even know that one of your own house, much less the head of your house, was gone, shows that you, or somebody here, is playing a very tricky game.
He seems visibly intimidated now. He's looking around, eyes darting a little bit. Now kind of sweating bullets, looking very anxious.
I think now is when the door opens. So as Kaya goes into the room, closes the door behind her, she stands over the bone dust remains of Plintos, and she will crack her neck, go, "This is always a little unpleasant." And she'll reach up, and as she does, she'll pull her jaw apart, and her form begins to explode into shadow as she casts Disguise Self. And as the shadows dissipate, I would like to recreate the image of Plintos, but specifically with a little bit of decay to show like some flesh like sloughing off, some decomposition beginning to settle in. So not a hale and hearty version of him, but someone who has perhaps been resurrected or somewhere halfway between.
Okay, give me a I want to roll on this, but I'm not sure exactly what. Me some sort of dexterity check.
Okay.
I wouldn't say
No.
you could do stealth if you wanted, or just a straight dexterity check, whatever you think is appropriate for this skill as recreating this facade.
Could I do deception?
Yes, that'd be great.
Hell yeah, that's a +9. Oh my god.
Oh! It is a nat 20 with.
Gosh damn.
With this, there is, even though he was a corpse with no distinct features for you to even reference, everything is to the letter, including the color of his eyes.
As I adopt my new form, I wriggle my fingers a bit and the bones crack as I try to fit into this new body, even though it's an illusion, mostly, just to make sure that it fits just right. I reach into my bag and I look at the dagger. Oh, this is gonna hurt. And I stab it into myself right where I had seen the dagger in Plintos, and I'll walk out after a grunt of pain. Why are you rolling?
Thrum turns around at the sound of the doors and everything, and very quickly, and you just see ghost white on his face. How is this? This can't be possible. What?
I shuffle out, pronouncing the weight of my body with each step.
This is not. That's not possible. And with a wisdom check, seeing that dagger stuck in. No. You died 6 years ago.
I pull the dagger out, and I let it drip blood onto the ground.
He's looking at this dagger and the blood, and he's just so confused. He doesn't really even know what to say. You know, he says that he died 6 years ago, and that seems pretty sincere. He knows that his father died 6 years ago. as he stands there and stares. I don't know what this is or what you are. But you can go back to hell wherever you came from.
Whispering up behind him, 6 years, you say?
Now realizing he said that out loud.
It seems to be you have 6 years worth of answers to start explaining. Shall we begin?
I'm watching the wives' faces again. Do any also seem surprised to see him alive?
They all seem surprised to see
my
him
gosh.
alive.
They're just a hive mind.
Yeah, they're all the same.
If there's a conspiracy here, it seems that everybody knows about it, and you are the only people in that weren't party to it until now. As his father comes out, as he does this, as you ask for answers, he draws a sword from under his cloak and tries to stab you, Atalantos.
Since I'm behind him, can I have a reaction to try to grapple him?
Yeah, you can try.
Oh boy, let's see.
Strength?
Yeah, strength.
Save me.
18's your DC.
Oh.
Oh, just 18. Why? Why can't I roll today? It's an 11. I can't grasp him. His armor's too smooth.
You grab around him, and his robes are made of silk, and he just able to pull and slip out, turning to the side, and he's going to try to strike Atalantos with his short sword here.
I'll let him stab me.
You'll let him stab you.
I'll let him stab me.
Okay, we'll just do a flat damage then. Just gonna do 3 points of damage into your armor. Not really even to hurt you.
Cool. As he sort of stabs into me, I will grab the legs of his arm, and now he's not going anywhere. And I will look towards him.
Big mistake.
I'm just gonna keep him there. If I could like have him grappled here.
Yeah, make a strength.
Hell yeah. Atalantos ain't afraid of blood, not at all.
Ooh. Oh.
That's a 13 though.
He rolled a 20. He's fairly strong. I told you he's a big guy. You're a big guy, but he is able to pull off. You grab his arm, he's able to slip out again. Those silk robes just helping him get that edge slippery as he is going to try. He steps back, kind of stumbles backwards, seeing that you are unfazed by being stabbed in the chest. He's still very intimidated, looking at the visage of his father, and he looks up to the other families, to the wives, and it just looks back and forth and back and forth. And he tries to run out the front door. You both can have attack of opportunities on him if you want, or try to grapple, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to grapple him instead. Take that 3 points of damage.
I want to shoot him in the ankle.
Big money, no whammies.
Oh, yeah! He's taking an arrow to the knee. Forget this.
Oh my god.
Yeah!
With a nat 20. Yeah, you fire that arrow, and even though this is marble, you pull that with such force that arrow goes through his Achilles tendon and through his shin and literally pins him to the marble as he's on a knee, and that arrow is just through the back of his leg, and it is decidedly, he tries to pull against it. He cannot pull himself because he is stuck to this marble with this arrow.
Yeah.
And Atalantos, 13's a hit if you were trying to grapple.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'll just kind of like, as he's sort of on one knee, I'll kind of just grab him, just shove his face into the ground. make sure that he is restrained. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, with that nat 20, you're easily able to just swoop in and just push his face down on the ground. Oh, let me go!
Care to try that again, and then it will be your other knee.
Continue heavily shuffling forward, lowering the dagger to my side, dripping blood, smelling awful.
He's just gonna struggle. He doesn't know what to say in this moment, as you know, he's obviously guilty of something. He doesn't know. He's gonna try to struggle, try to get away. If you have questions, ask him. He's not going anywhere.
Your family has plotted to overthrow your own house and keep this under wraps. And while this has been going smooth, you do so at the sacrifice of so many outside your own walls. What say you to this?
The detriment, the sacrifice of our own house? You don't understand. I saved our house. We saved our house. My stupid father wanted to give all of it away. All of it to the people. Those scummy pieces of shit that smell and grovel and fight and fuck all the time.
I'm going to shove his head a little bit more into the ground, and he'll begin to say,
You save your house to instead doom all of the people? For what? A water park? How foolish could you be?
Not just a water park. An oasis. A paradise. For those among us who deserve it.
Oh, my apologies. Those who muddle around in the dirt, fight for their very lives every single day, don't. Please enlighten me.
It's as you say. Their dirt taints us all. Better to let them, I don't know, dry up and wither away, so the rest of us might prosper. In luxury.
Well, as it seems, you seem to be one quite well versed in the dirt at the moment. Maybe you should suffer their same fate, should you not?
There's nothing you can do to me. Do you see the wealth in this place? It's mine by right. Whether my father is knowingly dead or not.
I'm going to face the rest of the children. And what of you all? Is there one among you who will carry out your father's will? Come, Plentos. Face your children.
I like turn towards them, still like dripping blood, like a part of like this fake flesh falls off my face.
oh God.
There's one woman. They all look fairly shaken by that, but there's one woman in particular that in kind of very vibrant blue robes actually kind of breaks down and falls to her knees and just sobbing and just keeps whispering, I was only doing what he'd said. I was only doing what he said. Over and over again.
And now you can be free of this. Will you take charge and lead your house? And your brother will be taken care of by us.
This is his mother, but
Oh. I thought you was the woman. I assumed it was like a daughter or something of Plentos.
This is the mother, and by the way she's acting, you're assuming she's also the one that stabbed Plintos.
Oh.
The one with the access to him.
Mm.
Under the orders of her son. As she just keeps whispering, I only did what he told me. And as Throm continues to try to struggle, he's trying to get away again. As you start talking, he's not going anywhere because his leg is pinned to the marble, but he's trying.
I'll begin to turn towards Throm and shuffle towards him, and you can see that the dagger is getting lifted up, pretty clearly telegraphing my intention, but I'm not rushing.
If I were to have my way, then maybe the gladiator pit. Maybe you'll learn to struggle. No. Maybe something much worse.
Just
damned nobles and their diplomatic immunity.
If you're going to kill me, then just do it. Tired of listening to your common dribble.
A mother's dagger will do the job. Easy enough. You lack the spine before Elusia will face the mother. And there are consequences. I'll ask again. Those who stand to lead this house, who will carry out his intended will?
There's a, I don't know about an adult, maybe 16, 17-year-old girl, a sister, who raises a hand, still kind of feebly, but because this is a very striking sight. You have to understand, there's decaying father and treacherous brother being pinned to the ground, the whole 9 yards. But she slowly raises her hand, kind of just meagerly a bit, and just, I will.
Name yourself.
Thea.
Thea. This house is now yours. Goodwill shall be your home. Not these golded walls, not the gems that decorate the floors. It is the outpouring that you offer. This house sought to redirect water away, but you will bring wealth to them. You will build them up and empower them. That is your task. Do you promise to withhold this?
Just shaking her head nervously and kind of still not really looking up, looking down. Yes, I will do as you've said.
She'll look to the others. Approved?
They all just. Oh, sorry, the others.
Yeah, my party members.
I thought you meant the wives.
No, I don't care about them.
Don't care about them. Go ahead.
I can't talk.
Oh, yeah.
Or it'll break the illusion.
We're gonna just keep giving you word opportunities.
just do a thumbs up. It's just like, Atalantos will sort of nod. More so, we'll look towards Elusia for your rule on this.
And what of this one? The commoner groveling in the dirt.
Buried in the dirt.
Well,
Is that the signal to murder him? Okay. I stab him with his father's death dagger. And I drag it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, giving all these kids trauma. Oops.
Yeah, all this.
Your body's in the way. They can't see that.
Yeah, except just like the squirts of blood just flying over my
Yeah,
head.
it's bloody and blood pours out on the marble floors and just all the guts and stuff pour out. And as you kind of step away after that moment. It's not a moment later, but servants who haven't gotten the memo yet come and drag his body off, pulling that arrow out, mopping the floor, fixing the marble.
They are
Repainting the gold.
Damn, they're used to this.
efficient. Damn. Okay.
They literally, they've been paid to do a job and they do it.
This is a house of horrors.
They
Yeah.
they have not gotten the memo yet about the change in management. So
Oh yeah, for all they know, that Plintos is
It's-
still alive.
yes, so
Especially since you're still in the form.
they don't ask
Like,
they don't ask questions. They're not paid to ask questions. So they come by and they fix everything, begin working on the floor and everything else, and they even take that gold dagger from you for a moment and polish it. And then hand
I'm
it back
gonna
to you.
leave the dagger
Okay.
in the sun.
They'd take that dagger out, then polish it. And,
Stick it back in.
yeah, stick it back in.
Oh my god.
But they take the body off carefully. They're not disrespectful of it, but they obviously they're not asking questions. They take it and they go.
I actually take Thea under my wing for a second, pulling her close. You need to see this. It will be hard, but you need to know that behind every gold wall is a river of blood. Wealth hoarded is life taken away.
I understand. But I think it's best if you leave now.
The council has made its ruling, and our justice has been served. This is the house of Thea now, as she looks to the wives and the rest of the children. Listen to her, and you will not find yourselves in the dirt.
I'll begin quietly stumbling back towards Plintos's room, and I'll close the door behind me.
As you change and decide to leave this, we'll fast forward in time here a little bit as you all make your way back to that feasting hall as Vythorn, the Endless Scholar, stands with the Emperor Thornos in the hall waiting where you first met him. Well, are we ready to go?
Yes.
Very much so.
Very well then. And as he pulls out, gather around, as he pulls out a silver ewer and pours a thick golden liquid on the floor, similar to the liquid you had drank once before, Elusia. As he pours a circle around you all and then cuts his own hand and spills the blood, mixing with that golden liquid as beams of light begin to shoot up out of this circle. And the Emperor sitting on his throne watches and just nods to you, Elusia, or anyone who looks at him. He's just going to silently nod in approval as this portal below your feet rips open. And there we will take a 10-minute break.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, man.
See you soon.
The rocks are coming like shooting out of the ground at different angles, and I'm just hopping onto each of them. Aha! Aha! A bit of training, I see. Aha!
Amazing. Majestic. Fantastic. They should name a vehicle after him.
Nissan Cosmonius.
5-star safety rating.
Yeah.
Nice dice, Dice Daddy. Good roll, Dice Daddy. That's it, Dice Daddy. Don't be shy. Get in there. Thanks, Dice Daddy. Dice Daddy.
Oh, my ass hurts so bad.
Oh, I got that too. Hang on. I will spend 40 points of lay on hands as my action to rub her ass and heal her.
Man is good with his hands, I guess.
Oh, he's so good with his hands.
Very strong, very muscular.
Aftercare is important, people.
Here we observe the terrifying chinchillas. As they are unionized, they're quite dangerous. Their fluffy bodies hide many knives, and they're known to trample a champion or two. If you would like to tap into the ferociousness of these terrible monsters, check out our chinchilla shirt in our store.
K-Boom coin on sale now. Make sure you go to my website. That is K-Boom gets that bread at hotmailfirefox.com.
You're trying to shield your cryptocurrency. The waterweed's tail wraps around you both and drags both bodies down into this pit.
Oh, shit!
As you both sink into the blackness.
That slashing damage comes in.
At least let my you know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, nobody wants that.
We're not chopping bananas today, okay?
I'm a demon in a box, not a monster.
Thought you were making a charcuterie board.
Do those go on there?
Turn into the sausage party.
Cedric, we might put your sausage on the charcuterie board. I can't believe I said that.
Welcome back to D20 Deathmatch, Skypiercer Part 2. Our party is now traveling through a portal to the void, the home of Elusia. As they fly through this portal, colors and lights streak by, the sounds of worlds and timelines that are interconnected in some way kind of streak past the sounds of things past and present, and stars being born and dying in a place where time kind of ceases to exist as your body is stretched and pulled in strange ways. But in an instant, you all find yourselves flash before your eyes in a dead forest. Everything around you, as far as you can see, is just decayed and decrepit. Dark shadow hangs over the horizon, the sky. As you look into the distance of this place, a large tower structure, a monolith, jagged in nature, a jagged tower, juts into the sky on one end. And as you notice, well, roll me a perception check, all of you.
Okay.
Very well.
Elusia, do it with advantage.
I rolled a 1.
Woo! 1?
Oh, 12.
Oh,
It
12.
bounced.
No.
Elusia with a nat 20.
I know this home.
You distinctly know this home, and all of you see this, but Elusia especially, as you look to the horizon, even through this fog and mist of this dreary place. On the horizon, glowing a faint orange around it, is a giant structure, a rock structure in the shape of an orc skull with a broken tusk sticking out. The eyes ablaze with fire, the glow of lava all around it on the horizon. As Elusia, you see for the first time in 300 years the Dread Fortress. And for those of you who haven't seen it before, it is an intimidating sight. Even though it is a considerable distance away, it is looming on the horizon like an omen. And as you begin to turn to look around your surroundings, no matter which way you turn, that Dread Fortress is there. It follows you like one of those pictures with the eyes that continually track as you move. It doesn't move, but it's constantly in your field of vision straight ahead. No matter which direction you were to walk, you would be walking to the Dread Fortress, it seems. And Elusia, roll me a history check.
$15.
You've been to this place a few times before. You notice that tower, that jagged tower shooting up into the sky, everything's a little darker than you remember in this place. Not that it wasn't dark before, but it seems somehow darker this time. You recognize that tower as the home that once belonged to your uncle Ogdril. This, you recognize, is the Shadowlands.
Welcome to my home, everyone. We have a journey to make. Please excuse the Shadowlands. They've never been in the best of shape.
Atalantos, looking around, will kind of grab the spear and shield and say,
Well, let us make it a good journey.
I'd have to argue that this is an improvement from the Puntos estate.
Bythorn hops down off of this rock he's standing on, and the dead branches and leaves under his feet crunch. Well, it's been a while since you've been home. Much has changed, but hopefully not everything. There are still people here who would see you sit in the Dread Fortress. There are still people here that would see your father's line restored. would see order return from chaos. And as you look onto the horizon, large thunderstorms as well, striking everywhere with lightning, colors of blues and purples and reds. There's this rainbow in nature lightning out of this dark, gloomy sky in the distance, and even in the sky above you to some degree, as in the air here hangs an eternal chaotic energy. Elusia, you would recognize this energy as the chaos storms that are ever present in the void, the source of magic here. But they seem to be out of control. They seem to be much more prevalent than you remember, as it's obvious now that your uncle has had some sort of effect on this force, as Vythorn has previously told you. Well, guard your minds in this place. This is a land of shadows where fears become real, where your deepest insecurities can be turned against you in the blink of an eye.
I'm sorry I couldn't welcome you here with grand gesture or banquet hall, but I suppose that will happen all at the very end.
It's all right, dear Lucia. I brought my own wine. I'll just take like a little sip from my flask.
Well, let us not keep them waiting then.
Come. First, we must find my people. I assume there's a heading, a hideout. Where have they gathered?
Well, there are many pockets around the void of your supporters, but I think the closest that I could get us is a Theranon. It's a small...
A Theranon?
It's a small village not far from here. It's more of a fort at this point. It's been in the upkeep on it over the last few years as the Shadowlands have spread has become something of a... Well, it's become disrepaired in a sense, but there are people there who are surviving and staying out of the reach of the Shadow King, living on the fringes where he doesn't think to look.
Take me there, and we will begin our conquest. I suppose in a tiny broken fortress.
Okay, then. He looks around for a minute at the horizon and seems to orient himself. Follow me. As you walk, roll me perception checks.
Perception.
Boom.
Oh, another nat 20. There are
ever vigilant.
The trees in this place don't seem normal. They move and sway in an unnatural way, as almost as if they're conscious. The fog is thick and breathable, but has an air of death and poisonousness to it. As you crunch those branches and leaves under your feet, you notice small creatures scurrying away, but not the kind of woodland creatures you might expect. Small, shadowy figures and different scorpions and spiders and things made of what looks like obsidian as they wriggle out from underneath these dead branches and run away from your footsteps. Atalantos, you specifically, as you look out of this clearing and through the dead trees, it's very dense, but you notice there is movement in the forest as well. You can't quite see exactly what it is or what's going on, but there are things out in that forest that are moving. They're moving rapidly, and many of them are looking at you. As you,
Steadfast. Potential hostiles in the forest afar. cannot make out what they are, but stay on your guard.
Well, I'm sure everything is so excited to have me return anyway.
As you walk and Vythorn leads you down a path, you come to a large chasm. Kind of juts out of nowhere. You walk through the trees and the forest. It's not really hard to make your way through these trees because there are no leaves, there's no foliage, there's no undergrowth. It's all very barren. So making your way between even a dense forest is not fairly difficult. And as you reach this cavern, you look across it, and there are bridges that have been constructed between large rocks and pillars. Some look partially man-made. These rocks, these structures, as if they'd been built over time. Others look natural in nature as they jut up out of a thick fog. Unsure of the depth, the fall distance here, if you were to fall off, but it seems considerable. As Vythorn leads you. Well, we'll have to watch our steps. These bridges look pretty old. I can assure you, if they look old, they're even older. As he begins to walk from the first to the next. If you choose to follow him, do so and make a dexterity saving throw.
Got it.
I assume my uncle's kept up with the infrastructure.
Oh, another nat 20.
Wow.
That's all right.
You just fly?
Yeah,
I do. I have my wings. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you fly.
I can also kind of fly.
Okay.
Yes.
Then roll with advantage if you're gonna fly or not touch. Atalantos, you're fine as you go through. Those boards creak and crack, but they hold your weight.
Atalantos will look over at like their 3 flying companions and like,
Wait a minute. I guess I didn't get the memo. Very well.
they're just gonna continue on just having the sword and shield the shield and spear at the ready.
Yeah, you all make your way and make me another dexterity saving throw as you continue to walk. If you're flying with advantage.
Gotcha.
So I don't have wings, but I more or less
hovering.
begin to jump. I can cast the jump spell at will.
Oh yeah.
So like as I lift up off the ground, you can see that I turned into literally just like a roiling shadow ball, and I just arc onto the next one. Towards the next.
Yeah. With that nat 20, do I need to keep rolling?
No, you don't have to. You're flying. You're good. 21, you're gonna save. Vythorn has also started to use his wings to just fly as well. So everyone except for Atalantos is basically good to go as you all make your way across and even into the next set of Atalantos. Though, as you're crossing this second to last bridge here, your foot falls through for a moment into this bridge as it gives way. You catch yourself with the ropes on this bridge and you steady yourself, being well versed on the battlefield, having a decent sort of balance to you in uncomfortable situations. But as your foot falls through, you look down, and around your ankle is now wrapped a shadowy tendril out of this fog that has shot up as soon as your foot breaks, shoots up to grab you. I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw, oh boy. Go, strength save.
You didn't skip leg day, did you?
With a 16, I hope not.
Okay, with a 16, you're able to pull free. As you do, more tendrils begin to shoot up to the sides of this bridge. And they look like they haven't grabbed you yet, but they're prepping to do it.
Well, It seems to be that they brought an army of them. Gaia, it seems to be that we will need to raise one of our own. Care to assist?
Are there any bodies nearby? I need bodies.
You know, make me a nature check or a survival.
They both suck.
Okay, good.
Oh.
Okay, with an 8, you can definitely sense that there are bodies somewhere here, maybe at the bottom of this chasm. You're not exactly sure where. You can just, with your connection to death and necrotic things, you can definitely tell there's death in this place, kind of all around.
I take in a deep breath and I inhale. Oh, my dear friend, the only use an army would be to catch you at the moment, but I can whip up a thing or two. And as I flick my wrists, I can cast Eldritch Blast towards these things.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much the only thing that I can do to help you.
Yeah, go for it. Roll to hit on those Eldritch Blasts as they...
Okay, I get to roll 3 of them.
Oh, perfect.
2.
Oh, shoot.
I think I hit them.
20. Oh, and a nat 20.
We're just dishing these suckers out.
What's it look like as you blast apart these shadowy tendrils?
You see the shadows coalescing and hardening, almost crystalline in my palms, and as I shoot them out, they look like knives, and they silently cut through the air without even a single sound, and they simply sever each one of these 3 tentacles that I shoot at.
Okay, yeah. As you do, those tentacles, shadow in nature, just disappear. They totally evaporate, as they are non-corporeal. Atalantos, there's still more tendrils kind of slowly creeping their way up, but for now you're not in danger at the moment, as Kaya with a nat 20 is able to just take out all of the main tendrils here. We should go before there's any more, as Vythorn opens his wings and flies to the other side of the cavern.
Very well. Make haste.
Atalantis is going to start, not necessarily sprinting, but rushing ahead,
Yeah. Make me one last dexterity saving throw.
Sure thing. And I also did learn one thing. I was not adding this entire time. We'll see if it becomes relevant. Okay, it might be. So, apparently at 10th level, Blood Hunters have this cool, wacky feature called Dark Augmentation, which basically means I get to add my Hemocraft modifier to Strength, Dexterity, and Con saving throws.
Yep.
So that 12 is a 14. I don't know if that changes anything, but hey.
With a 14, you're able to get through. The pieces of the boards crack below you, and those tendrils begin shooting up, like as you're running behind you, and they begin breaking some of the boards even behind you as they shoot up, and they're trying to latch onto you. With a 14 and the rest of you flying, you're able to make it across, safe for the time being.
As I'm arcing over you, I'm like, "You're doing great."
You see, as Atalantos is sort of lagging behind for a bit, that dark augmentation, his eye or one of his eyes will begin to start turning glowing purple for a moment, and you'll see as he's starting to slow down, but then he's going faster and faster and faster, trying to keep pace as much as he can. He will not allow himself to drag the party down.
Okay, perfect. As you get around the side of this cavern, it's still open in nature, but you find a path that leads against the other side, a cliffside. As you make your way, there's still shadow down deep below you, but you're making your way across what is this cutout in the earth. It's a hole here, but it is solid ground. As you come out and you're here, I need you all to make me a perception checks. Okay, 12, 16, 13. You all are going to see this, but Elusia, you spot them first as these tendrils keep shooting up from the shadows, but now forming themselves into the shape of a body of sorts. This swirling black tendrils now floating in the sky and spinning almost like a tornado, like a mist, like a shadow as they move around, as these creatures begin to rise out of this fog. I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative. Give me just a second to set that up. All right,
Let's go.
Roll for initiative.
Ooh.
All right.
The initiative's
sorry,
not showing.
It's not right. Roll again.
Oh.
There we go. Now it's up.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, and let's see. Your initiative was a 19. Okay, so all right, with that, these all disappeared. They did, didn't they? Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, these things, and you disappeared too. Wow. Okay.
We all disappeared
Everything
except
disappeared.
for Bythorn.
Except for me. And Vythorn, as you look at Vythorn, he's still noticing now for the first time that he's breathing heavily. I'm not going to be any help here. It took a considerable amount of magic to get us to this place. I could be here if maybe in the last moment, but I can't waste the magic that I have. As these things kind of bloom in closer, and he looks over at you, Elusia, is just like, he's not gonna be much help in this situation. As the first creature comes in to attack, and it will, let's see. What do I want to do?
You have so many options.
Let us go.
What, you want to join our army? That's so
Fantastic.
funny.
Yeah.
Elusia,
Look, Kyan, new friends.
Oh.
This first creature will come into you, Elusia. I need you to make me a DC 14 Wisdom save. As it rolls its way in, you hear strange whisperings. As you hear...
4.
Okay. As you hear this, you will take 11 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And you are stunned until the end of this creature's next turn.
Oh my god.
As this thing whispers in your ear and your eyes glaze over in a shadowy mist, you are stunned, unable to move. On your turn, I will let you make a Constitution saving throw or a Wisdom save to try to break it.
Okay.
I'll give you a chance to try to break that. But that will... Yeah, that will be its turn. Elusia, it is your turn. I will allow you to make that Wisdom save again at the beginning here to see if you can break through that 14.
Okay.
Now, question, Mud. Did we get a short or a long rest since that whole thing with Plintos, or no?
Yeah.
Not yet?
Oh, yeah. You have had a long rest. You're all set on your stuff there. Sorry, I should have said that.
You're all good.
It's a 9.
It's a 9. What is it like as this thing invades your mind and stops your movement?
She pauses, almost as if her feet no longer listen to her at this moment, and she struggles, feeling a sharp pain right through the left side of her temple, as if it was pierced all on its own, and she reaches up to grab. Ah! What is that?
They seek to warp your mind. Stand tall and stand strong.
Yeah, and you are as you try to do that, you're just unable to make yourself move as your eyes have kind of glazed over and unable. You're stunned. Okay, the turn of the next creature. This one here in the back is going to move its way up, and it's actually going to attack the other 3, including Vythorn, as those whispers continue as well, in a different fashion this time, as it whispers into your ear. I need everyone to make me a wisdom saving throw. DC is 14. That one.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Atalantos, looks like you were going to save Elusia. You're not going to be affected by this. You will all... Atalantos, you'll take 15 points of damage. Kaya, you're gonna take a critical hit there with, so 30.
Okay.
30 points of psychic damage as this comes in. In addition to that, you must use a reaction to make a melee attack against one creature.
I'm the closest to you.
Oh.
So Atalantos of the Aleb's choice. So yeah, Kaya, you will attack Elusia.
Okay.
Atalantos, you succeeded, right? So you don't
Yes.
you don't have to attack. You take no damage.
Okay.
But Vythorn, let's see, did Vythorn also succeeded. So yeah, Kaya, you will have to take an attack at Elusia.
Okay.
A melee attack.
Melee. Okay.
Melee attack.
I don't have anything in my hands right now, so punch.
Okay. And it will be, we're going to roll a damage, but it's going to be a crit because she's stunned.
Oh. Damn.
Zero damage.
Roll a D4. And add 4.
I have -1 strength. I did this on purpose.
Okay, Elusia.
What a great character build idea. I can hurt no one with my fists.
I think what this looks like is as the spell comes over me, my hand kind of jerks towards you, and I think for a second I grab your throat and I squeeze just a little bit. And does 2 damage, right? You said it crits.
It does. It will deal the maximum possible plus your roll, so 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I think this is the least amount of damage I could have possibly done to you, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is happening?
We hadn't talked about this yet.
I'm sorry.
Okay. That will be that creature's turn as it whispers into your minds and for just a moment takes control of your faculties to try to force you to attack. Kaya, it is your turn.
I yank my hand free and I look incredibly guilty as I look towards you. Shake my head, turn towards the enemy. I would like to enter my form of dread.
Okay.
As I begin to pull my hands upwards, the shadows that pool at my feet begin to rise up in a vapor, and it swirls around me. I gain temporary hit points. Does that roll?
Yep.
Okay. I get 9 plus 11. That's
Nice.
20 hit points. Let me do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget. Okay. And then once on each of your turns, if you hit a creature, you can force it to be frightened of you, and I'm immune to the frightened condition currently.
Okay.
I will turn towards the closest one, and I will send off Eldritch Blast with my action, and I get to send out 3.
Okay, yeah, do it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
15 will hit. 17 will hit. 21 will hit.
Okay.
Going up.
And so these are going to be 1d10 plus 5, but I also have Grave Touched. Once per turn, when you hit with an attack roll and deal damage, you can replace it with necrotic damage, and while you're in your form of dread, it deals 1 additional damage die. So this first one, if it hits... Wait, did I hit that right?
You hit the transformation again, I think.
Oh,
So
my bad.
you get to replace the damage type with necrotic and then add
An extra die. So I'll just hit the roll damages.
an extra die. Okay, yeah. So yeah, roll an extra. All right. So
That's a d10.
yeah.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Nice.
So how much on the first attack?
First attack is a 13, 11, and then 13, and then that extra die was a 10.
Oh, okay. So for all 3 blasts together.
Yeah.
Is it only your first blast that's necrotic, or is it all 3 blasts are necrotic?
Only the first one.
Okay. As you cast the first Eldritch Blast and you hit with this necrotic energy, it has no effect.
Okay.
So that 13 points of damage doesn't apply. The others being force damage, 34 points of damage. So you see the first blast almost goes right through it. It hits it, doesn't just mixes in with the smoke and the fog nature of this creature. But then your other blast hit it and right into obituary.
Oh, nice. At this time, as I'm throwing out the 2 force blasts, you see them turning into these crystalline spears that open up, and you see they have teeth, almost like a jaw unhinging. And as they shatter into the sides of this creature, it turns into smoke and debris and is no more.
All right. Yeah, as it just fades away into mist. Anything else for your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to back up.
Okay. Good call. All right. This the next creature from the back. Let me see. Oh, what's their distance here? Flying feet, 40 feet. Ooh, it cannot get to Elusia, who is already stunned. So it is going to try to whisper to you, Kaya, with its howling babble. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw. I'm going to say that you can make it an advantage now that you understand the necrotic nature of these things, and the undead nature of them.
It's a 12 and a 17.
Okay. There we go.
So you are not stunned with that 17, but you will take half damage of this damage type. This is psychic damage, so you will take 7 points of psychic damage as it whispers into your mind again and tries to force you to stand still, but you're able to resist that, kind of having a kind of a kindred nature about you to these things.
I think shadows begin to leak from my eyes, and I say, I will not be held. I see you, creature, and I will command you or destroy you.
Perfect.
That's my turn.
Atalantos.
All right. So Atalantos will look over and towards Viathorn and say,
If you cannot fight, then do your best in making sure that you survive. Behind me.
And Atalantos is going to charge up to the front line, shield up and more. They'll kind of hang over towards the edge, but try to make a sturdy sort of posture and more. With the shield up, they will thrust the legs of the spear towards this individual, towards their head, and hoping for the best, but not before. They're actually going to do something right before that.
Okay.
As they do so, they will slam the legs of the spear into the ground. And Lucy, you are stunned right now, correct?
Yep.
All right. We'll set you up next time then. They will begin to erupt into this strange holy flame for a moment, and as they do, the spear will begin to start burning with red hot fire. They'll begin to start singeing each and every one of their enemies forth. They're going to use their Crimson Rite of the Flame, and then as a bonus action, strike into this guy.
Okay.
Right, so that's going to be first attack roll. Ooh,
a
15 to hit.
Will hit. Is your spear magical item, or is it just?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody has +2s and stuff.
Yes. Okay. Yep. So, okay, you cut into that. Roll the damage.
You got it. So they're gonna take first 10 points of piercing damage, and then a D8 of fire damage. Oh, it's only a 1. But,
okay.
Hey.
They will take 11 points of damage. You notice though, as you cut into this thing with fire, the fire doesn't seem to burn as brightly as you would hope.
Fair enough. Well, to Atalantos, that just means he needs to strike harder. He's going to send forth and just jab with the spear on trying to almost with an upward strike starting at the gut and trying to go up towards their neck and head area. They're going to swing again one more time.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
28 to hit.
Wow.
Okay.
Come on, come on. Ugh. But we got the fire damage coming on in. That's going to be D8. Just got to strike a little bit harder.
The fire damage will be halved as it is resistant to fire.
Yeah.
But you've even though the fire doesn't do as much as you want, as you cut through it, it's almost not the fire itself, it's almost the light from the fire that kind of dispels some of this shadow nature about this creature as it cuts through it, and it almost cuts in half for a moment, but then fuses back together in a way. Just for a moment, you've kind of dispelled the cloud, but it just quickly rolls back in on itself as a fog.
Last thing they'll say is just,
"Stop your babble and fight me."
and they'll look at the creature, and then in their turn, they're just trying to get as much attention on them as much as they can. That's it.
Okay. As this last creature in the back hears you say that, with a pretty high wisdom, comes in, is going to give you what you want, and is going to make a maddening touch against you as it rolls to hit. Oh, it's a nat one!
Yes!
Can I just,
Yes, go for
as
it.
it's reaching out towards me, I'll just use the spear, stake it into the ground, just sort of kick him, almost like Spartan kick him back a little bit.
Yeah, you do. You do that Spartan kick, and it leaves an impact, and it's almost like its body, like the chest opens up. It like rolls around itself and inverts, and its chest comes back through because it's as this shadow nature. So it like and like comes back to form as you kick it with that nat one. It will not be able to use its whispers for the next turn with that nat one strike, though.
Oh, thank goodness.
As you've kind of caught it off its guard. Beginning in round number 2, though, this one is dead. So Elusia, you are
Am I free?
free.
Yes!
Yay!
I have my brain back, angry and frustrated of this pain that was able to infiltrate her mind in her own home. Her guests, perfectly fine in this. It frustrates her, minus the choking. Or was that purposeful? We'll find out later.
Taking notes.
She pulls that arrow back and aims at this one that had already taken damage from Atalantos and works to make that shot on it.
Oh, easily.
26.
The vicious
Nice.
bow, nice.
Boom. And because it already had some damage taken, it will also take an additional D8 of damage.
Okay.
As my Colossus Slayer feat.
Okay, perfect. All piercing, I believe. So 15
Yes.
points of damage right at its obituary.
Yes. Just quickly, as soon as she wakes up from that first one going down, she puts that arrow in place and notices right past Atalantos' ear, fires that across. You could almost, Atalantos, you can feel that like whisper, that own arrow whisper past your ear as it knocks straight into the head of this creature in front of you.
I'll look over.
A good shot. Mind if we add a little bit of cold to it?
They have plans. They have plans.
Every time.
Oh,
every-
actually, wait. Atalantos looks over towards them, and a spark of inspiration begins to go through their eyes. They're going to use the reaction.
Let us see what happens when he plays for the other team.
He's going to start holding his hand out, and you'll see as his hand begins to start twisting and mangling for a moment. And he is going to use a blood curse on them, Curse of the Fallen Puppet, and give them one final strike towards their best friend over here to kill them, hopefully. So make an attack or one final attack roll against this guy. And yeah, screw it, let's do it. I'm gonna amplify it. Ah, damn it. All right. That misses.
As this thing is just destroyed, there's just nothing to attack with as it whatever's left of it tries to make a motion, but there's just no physical form anymore.
Seems to be that his fighting resolve was not strong, but yours is. Continue on.
Elusia, you got another strike?
I have another strike. I'll focus on this one over here. I'm gonna trust Atalantos to keep that one's attention, so
Okay.
I'll focus on this one.
Yeah.
So once again, pulling that arrow.
Ooh.
A nat 1.
I forgot I added that sound effect.
Wait, did that sound effect play because you rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Yep.
I set
Oh
it
my god! That's so funny.
Yeah.
Ah,
You,
yeah.
oh man.
Yeah. Pull that arrow.
Roll me a d4.
Oh no. I don't like this.
A 2.
Okay. As you go to pull that arrow back from somewhere underneath in the shadows, another one of those shadowy tendrils has been creeping up the side, grabs your ankle, and just tugs kind of as you're about to pull that arrow, and it pulls you off balance. Roll the damage. You're gonna hit Vythorn in the chest.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
It's a bit more than I wanted.
How much?
Well, it's a 5 for piercing and then additional 10.
Okay.
15.
So, okay, yeah. 15 points of damage into Vythorn as you just sink an arrow deep into his chest. As he, Steady yourself! Guard your mind!
Oh, easy for you to say, the one who's standing at the side.
As he's just standing there bleeding now, just holding this arrow in his chest. Anything else for your turn?
I'm gonna step back a little bit more just against this wall. Just to give myself a little more space if I can.
Okay. This, all right, into your turn. This next creature who we were trying to shoot at is actually going to rush in at you. Flying in, and it's like a poltergeist, just these streamers of like fog and smoke and tendrils just flowing off in the wind as it comes by, and it has a shadowy mouth. It almost comes open like this, and from as the mouth rips open, the head actually becomes larger and splits in half, and the whole head kind of inverts, and instead of a tongue, just another form of that creature, a head and hand reach out of the mouth and try to swipe at you with its maddening touch. 24 hit.
Yep, that hits.
Oh.
All right, it's gonna do
So many dice.
15 points of psychic damage as it strikes you.
Okay.
All right, and that will be the end of its turn as it comes in there. Kaya, it is your turn.
Kaya will swing around and fire off 3 Eldritch Blasts over towards Yak Guy over there that's in front of Elusia.
Get rid of these. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Those will. Oh, nat 20!
Yes! You are so reliable on these.
Those will all hit.
Fuck them up.
11,
Okay.
11. Force damage.
Listen, she knows her necrotic
11.
baddies.
And we'll give you max damage critical. We'll give you an extra 10 more on that. So that is
Oh yeah.
37, 47. That is right. It's obituary.
All right. She wheels around and lobs these 3 crystalline knives through the air, and as they smash into the creature, it disappears in a puff of smoke. The debris comes crashing down like broken glass around your feet. And I say, "Don't worry, I've got my eye on you. I won't let anything happen to you while I'm around."
I'm just pressed up against this wall, breathing quite heavily. Thank you. Your chest heaving at this moment, trying to look at least a little not as afraid as I should be right now.
All right. So that one is destroyed.
Move back a little bit, and that'll be it.
Okay. That means I believe it's Atalantos next. Yeah, that one's dead. So, Atalantos.
All right. As this is sort of happening, we'll see as he begins, or he still has the flames for a moment, and he'll just try to hold fast, looking at each and every one of his allies as they eviscerate the battlefield. We'll begin to try, and he's going to. He won't be able to really strike over and try to trip this guy up, so he's going to just keep on looking for any bit of solid structure and just aiming directly towards that to make purchase. It's going to make an attack roll. Spear.
That'll hit.
17 to hit. There we go. That's going to be a total 13 points of damage plus 2 points of fire damage.
Okay.
That's already halved.
Okay, that's already halved. Cool.
Mm-hmm. And second strike, as he's kind of like makes purchase with the first one, he's just going to try to twist and just channel as much fire into this strike. Spear attack one more time. Even better, 21. And so 8 points of piercing damage and 3 points of fire damage. That's already halved.
Perfect. All right, yeah, you cut into this thing with that fire. It's still standing, but the light from that fire, once again, just kind of dispelling part of its form, and it twisting and rolling around, and heads forming in different places, arms being sucked in and protruding to different parts as this thing is just a free form structure as its body begins to roll around and writhe as you cut into it with this firelight.
Easy enough. As this is happening, he'll begin to or yank the blade out before twisting and slamming it onto the ground. You'll see as the flames will, they'll all disperse for a moment, and you'll see as the flames and cinders begin to slowly start flickering before they begin to attune themselves to certain individuals' weapons as they change from that of fire to that of ice. Elusia, you look over, and as frozen particles begin to stick onto it, you'll see as Atalantos looks over.
Take them down. Strike now.
And he's going to use the Rite of Revitalization, and he's going to give you his Crimson Rite instead, but he will take a D8 of damage for that. He'll take 5 points of damage, and that will be his turn.
Okay, and this creature will attack back at you with a maddening touch. Does a 17 hit?
Hits the shield. He is standing strong.
All right, yeah, once again, just striking that shield and just dissipating and reforming after a moment. All right, back to the top, Elusia.
Prepped and ready, feeling that icy chill come my way. It revitalizes me as I take aim. 22 to hit.
22 is going to hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus the additional 8 from me, so 2 plus 6 plus 11.
Don't forget another D8 as well from the Crimson Rite.
And the Crimson Rite adds in another, boom, 8.
So that was 19.
Wait, no, that one I rolled a D10 on. Ignore that one.
D10.
Okay, so...
It's a 4. Just kidding.
Okay, 19 and how much cold damage?
4.
Okay, as you strike it with that arrow, you notice that the cold has no effect.
Oh, we tried.
So you took more damage than what we dealt out. Got it.
This thing still retains its shape for the time being.
Sometimes sacrifices must be made for knowledge.
We're learning so much.
You have so much knowledge now.
I aim again with my knowledge bow.
That'll hit. You can write its obituary.
Good. Seeing the ice do nothing, I quickly pull another arrow out and I lock it in place quickly, shooting it right fast into the heart, the center of this. As it pierces through, it almost dissipates like a mist, a cloud enveloping the space that it once was, leaving the chilly air that we thought should have heard it.
All right. for the time being, the creatures are gone. You're out of combat for the moment. As Vythorn from the side walks up, still bleeding at where you sunk this arrow into him. I think we should maybe be moving before anything else decides that it wants to get involved. And everyone roll me a perception check.
Oh no.
You got it.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, good today. Wow.
With a 20, you hear it first, Atalantos. It's just this low roar, just a that echoes off of this cavern and just bounces around. I need all of you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god.
21 is the DC.
Oh,
What?
don't say
Oh,
that.
God.
I rolled a 5.
Ooh. 15 succeeds, right?
Yeah, 13 for me.
21 will fail. You will all take 26 points of necrotic damage.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh. So,
Oh, my
Jeez.
And I believe you're resistant, right? Kaya?
Oh, I am. Oh, wait, hold on.
Or
yeah,
are you immune? Resistant, right?
I'm resistant, and
Okay.
that knocks out all my temp HP. I don't actually take any damage.
Okay, so 13 points of necrotic damage to you, 26 to everyone else, as you just get this sickening aura of just this sickening feeling as this wave washes over you. And from out of this cavern, two giant shadowy hands place themselves on the side as a Nightwalker climbs up at you, and with its first attack, Atalantos, it will strike at you with a claw. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 will hit the shield as he just stands tall, just getting bludgeoned further and further into the legs of the ground and more. He tries to just maintain force and maintain stability right now.
It has a multi-attack. 24. Does that hit?
24, but he can only hold out for so long. That's going to hit.
Make me a 21 Constitution save.
Oh, God. All right. He's also going to need to make a concentration check. Saving throw. Let's see. 15, 19, plus the 2 from the dark augmentation. 21.
21. With a success, you will take 22 points of necrotic damage, but your hit points will your maximum hit points will remain the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
The con save was to see if your maximum dropped as this thing hits you with this 22 points of damage. As this happens, as you take this damage, as you're all feeling this sickening feeling, Vythorn is going to stumble forward for a moment, and his hand's covered in blood. He's going to raise a palm. In the palm of his hand, that blood is going to illuminate in a bright white light as his palm is now lit, and he is shining it in the face of this thing. Elusia, we need to go. This thing is an eater of life. If you die, you die.
Where can we run?
You can run around the edge.
Okay, we're gonna run. I'm gonna run.
Over there.
I'm booking it.
This is not a fight we can win.
We run.
Okay.
Is anybody wanting to run with me?
I'll hold your hand. Let's run.
I quickly,
Alright.
as I run past Kaya, I grab her hand and I start to sprint.
I have one question. All right, you tell me, Mud. Can I make any sort of type of check? Because it's in the character.
Yep.
Is there any way, shape, or form that there is a chance of victory, or nah? We're gonna get stomped. If there's an insight check or survival check, you let me know, or nah, it seems like we're gonna get stomped.
from your battle prowess, I would let you make an insight check because you have fought so many battles. You can do it with advantage even.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. 20 unnatural though.
Okay, with the 20. This thing, as it's towering up, its shadowy fingers, you just being in its presence is draining the life force from you at every single moment from the start. That hit, you were able to bolster your shield once. As that hits, even though you don't lose your hit point maximum, you feel again that just necrotic drain on your constitution, and every cell of your body is tired at this point, just from being here. You can feel your vitality draining. This thing will fuck your entire world.
Fair enough.
And you can feel that.
As much as Atalantos would like a glorious death, now is not the time. They look towards their allies and comrades, and they'll make sure that every last one of them get out first, and them staying behind before they begin to, or follow up by the rear.
Okay. Everyone make me as you begin sprinting and trying to get out of this place. And you're making your way through the woods. And this is trees everywhere. They're in your face. As you move through, you're whipping through, and those shadowy figures you saw before Atalantos are following you. Shadows everywhere now. Over the top of you, behind you. As you run, this thing doesn't make an immediate move to attack any of you, but you can see that it is there. It's not concerned with chasing you or striking you as you leave. It's big enough and fast enough. It doesn't have to. As it begins to just kind of crawl out of this hole and onto its long, slender legs as you make it to a forest and you're running through this forest. I need all of you to make me dexterity saving throws.
Got it.
Can I do this at advantage because I'm holding hands?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yes!
Yeah. Now
We're
tell
helping
me,
each other.
Yes.
Oh,
thank
make
1 and a 20!
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, can Elusia make it with advantage because I made the Crimson Right cold on purpose, so that they're used to holding hands. It's a little bit easier to hold hands because they're kind of
Yes.
The two of you.
Run with a buddy every time.
I'm gonna learn that mistake. That's a 6.
Okay. As this thing follows you, its presence, its aura just follows you and keeps washing over the top of you. With a nat 20, you will take no damage, Kaya, but also with a nat 20 and holding hands with Elusia, you will impart on her your resistance to necrotic damage.
Ooh.
As you will take nothing, Elusia, you will take half of 21. Atalantos, you take the full 21 points of necrotic damage. As this wave, it's not even a physical attack, it's just that aura, that bright aura. And even though Vythorn is following, he is flying backwards, shining his palm brightly through this forest at this creature. It is still bearing down on you.
So I didn't realize this because I didn't read my sheet very well. I have resistance to necrotic.
This gives you immunity.
Okay, good.
You will take nothing then.
Good.
As her nat 20 gives you immunity on this check.
Our moment shields us entirely.
Your plot armor is thick.
I think you can plot armor is thick. I think you can see the shadows that make up my dread form. They begin to bleed over you as my demons swarm around you and provide you this protective sheen for but a moment.
I feel embraced.
And as you run, and that dread takes over and shields her, this thing begins to suck any light that exists in this place. Vythorn's palm begins to fade and flicker as that magical light gets pulled out, and it goes out and starts to pull in all of the shadows to itself as it grows larger and larger, towering over the trees now. As it walks, it literally just destroys these trees. It is on the horizon, just this towering figure looming behind you as its aura grows and becomes more necrotic in nature. It is going to take one attack. Over here, it's going to sweep a large hand as it... A 14 doesn't hit anybody, I don't think, does it?
Nah. Oh.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It swings with that, and it knocks all of the trees down around it, cutting huge swaths. It's going to attack again. With a 15, it just hits Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But
no.
it will deal
Can
half...
I use the strength to pull her forward with me? In that last minute? Like, as a reaction. Can I just try to, like...
Strength save, disadvantage, DC 18.
Oof.
It's okay, just roll 2 nat 20s. Easy.
18! It's an 18! I see Kaya. I cannot lose her. I grip her hand with all my strength. And with both, then I pull my second hand back and I lift her over, giving her almost a whole air as she flies in front of me, making sure she does not fall behind. Don't let go of my hand.
I won't.
Yeah. As this giant hand comes swooping down again, taking out whatever trees are left as you continue to move, is looming down upon you, though. And in this moment, as it begins to fill the entire horizon, from out of the woods in front of you, those shadowy figures you thought you saw before Atalantos make their way out, and several in a line with staves and magic slam them into the ground, creating a wall of light that blasts into the sky. This Nightwalker begins to reel at this giant wall of light as pieces of it begin to dematerialize, and it inverts itself as well and begins to walk backwards, and eventually that light grows so strong that it begins to just dissipate, and it tries to turn and run, but again, more mages come. This wall of light extending, blasting through the forest like an atomic wave that evaporates this Nightwalker, scatters it into nothing. As the dust and particles settle, and that light to you all is blinding as it shines over, and it begins to fade. And all that's left is a line of what look like common folk, different makes and builds, but one in particular holding a large staff as he walks towards you. Well then, come with me. As he drops his hood, you see this as a large Leonin figure with gray and black fur holding this lit staff as he beckons you to come. And Vythorn, for one's going.
Eagerly, yes, following.
That was an introduction.
But we aim to please
Timing is
here.
impeccable.
As these figures guide you out of the forest quickly with haste and into the sun, as they bring you to a large wooden wall of a fortress just outside of the shadow where the sun streaks down. You notice it's the middle of the day. This is birds are chirping now as you exit this place. Things are, fairly cheerful, fairly mundane as the forest changes from this necrotic thing to just being this just normal forest with these walls. As this Leonin leads you here. Well then, my name is Craven Eldenbridge, and I'm the leader of this place. You're welcome here.
Craven, thank you so much for saving us.
Yes, we we caught the presence of your disturbance when you arrived in the Shadowlands, and we've taken charge of this area. The Shadowlands have been encroaching in the past number of years, but we're pushing back.
Why has it grown so powerful over there? What has happened?
The Shadow King. His influence is... I don't know. People have said his mind is decaying. He's unable to contain the energy he's stolen from the realm.
Well, we're here to help.
Well, we could certainly use it. We've got, well, what used to be a great fort. This is what remains of it. We're pushed out of the original structure into this humble fort, if you will. I don't know if you can even call it that. Welcome to Atheranon.
If I look around in this space, what do I see?
You see dozens. It's a fairly large forest fort in a clearing. It's mostly common buildings, but the walls are high, 20 plus feet, made of wood, all handmade. Just at the edge of the shadow, you notice there are families here. There are all of those mages that stood with Craven in the forest, coming back from this endeavor, and now they are mingling back to their families, to their homes. Some people are sharpening weapons. There are blacksmiths. This is a full functioning, for lack of a better word, a town, more like a small village here. But there are dozens, if not hundreds, of people living in here. Some live outside the walls, in tents. You've noticed there were some as you were kind of traveling in, people on watch, on guards, some coming and going with supplies. Seems like it would be maybe a normal fort, a normal town in any other circumstance, but here on the edge of what you just experienced, this seems to be some sort of fighting fort. Especially now hearing the name Atheranon, you know this was your original destination anyway. This was where Vythorn was leading you.
I will look over to Atalantos and I'll say, well, we've done more with less in the past, haven't we?
A lot more. So, and thank you again for saving us. I do appreciate this.
Yes, of course. Who are you? How did you come to be in the Shadowlands?
Pythorn, were they not prepared for our arrival?
Vythorn? The Endless Scholar? Right hand to the Shadow King? As he draws out his staff and points it at Vythorn. Not in so many words. I've brought with me the savior of the void, the savior of your people. Elusia, daughter of the Golden King. With that, Craven instantly falls to his knees. Bowing.
No. Craven, no. And Elusia will immediately go to grab his hands and try to lift him up. I have been gone for 300 years. There's no need to bow to me.
Oh, there's every need to bow. We all... There were always rumors, but the word of your death spread quickly after the Shadow King's ascension. We've been living in this place, just trying to survive.
I am sorry. I've been hidden away in another plane. Unbeknownst of the trauma, the damage that is done here. I do not deserve your kneeling, but I will work to earn it. I've brought with me my greatest comrades, those who I admire most of all. Kaya, and Atalantos. And she'll take a step back, holding her hands out to the both of you.
Atalantos will take it and walk forward to meet them.
If these are your friends or your companions, then they are most honorable and worthy to be here. You are guests of honor here. You are our saviors.
Saviors is a heavy word. Is it not?
Have you not come to set things right?
We have, and we will. But we will not be able to do this alone. I've come to awaken all of the void, to harness her life, her force, her spirit again, and to lead. For I alone cannot do this.
No. If it is soldiers who need, we have that. And there are many here, and other places, living on the fringes, like ourselves. There are others that would join if we sent out the call.
We would need that immediately. The goal is to cease this as quickly as possible, to lose as little as possible. 300 years is long enough. I will face my uncle if you can get me to him. And my companions and I, she'll look again to her comrades, will see that it is finished.
Well, we're more than willing to help in what ways we can, but you should know the Dread Fortress is impregnable. I can't. No living creature here in the void can breach its defenses. There's no one on the outside who can tunnel their way in or break down the door. And with that, Vythorn will step forward, still bleeding profusely from this arrow wound.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. Fine.
Maybe not from the outside. That's why we'll be going inside.
You know of a secret passage?
Not a passage, but one such as myself who's free to come and go from the Dread Fortress. I can get you in if we have a distraction.
What kind of distraction were you thinking of?
He peeks past Kaya to Craven. That kind. An army.
I see. He'll be focused there. We'll move the armies out. Draw them out to the city gates. If we go anywhere else, any other town, he'll send his generals. But his city guard will stay there. We won't be able to sneak in, but if we just wait outside his doorstep, that would be the closest response. Craven, could you sneak your armies into the city, just outside of the fortress?
Oh, it will take us some time to travel to the Dread Fortress. And even longer still to wait for our reinforcements. But yes, we can make it there, assuming. Excuse me, Princess Elusia. But are you sure you can trust this man? As he peeks around you to Vythorn.
Am I just like standing in between the two of them? Like,
yes.
Just constantly looking around. I'm going to take a step back so they can actually see each other.
How did you come to be in his presence, in his company?
He's pulled me from the plane that I was, found me, my compatriots, and pulled us here. It is because of him that I stand before you today. I had no means of returning without him. You do not have to trust him, but I ask that you trust the three of us. Each one of them, Atalantos, will help you in pulling together your armies, preparing them. Any last-minute training, Kaya will help bolster your numbers. Speak with your mages. And I will get word out to the people. I'll send ravens, written by my own hand.
Very
A little
well.
diplomacy must be made.
I will also send our scouts ahead with your message. I will make the preparations tonight. We will begin immediately. But first, something I think you should have. As he goes to this room, as he leads you into this room, goes to a small chest. He's going to open it up. If you're here to save us, to reclaim your throne, then you and your party will need the tools to do so. And we don't have the warriors that can wield these. Maybe you can. After all, they were your father's. As he opens a chest that has your father's insignia on it, that seemingly has been smuggled out of the Dread Fortress at some point, or somewhere. As he pulls out items from this chest, first to Atalantos. You seem sturdy with your shield.
It is a part of me. Not a weapon, but an extension of myself.
Then I think you, with your permission, Princess, should have this. And he hands you a golden longsword. That, roll me a history check, Elusia.
Nat 20.
You instantly, you instantly recognize this longsword. It looks to be made of pure gold in a way, but Atalantos, when it hits your hands, it's light and sturdy to the touch. Elusia, this was your grandfather's and then your father's sword. The sword
Atalantos.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was the name?
No. This sword, as he hands you Defender, which is a +3 bonus to attack. In addition, you can use that +3 to add it to your AC instead, if you want.
Whoa!
Use your bonus action.
That's huge.
That is definitely a Defender.
Yeah, you can take a +1 to your attack and a +2 to your AC instead if you wish. With the moment, it's on your character sheet now in Foundry if you want it to look at it.
Oh my god!
Atalantos, this gift of yours has not seen blood in a many year. You will need to reawaken it, but it will serve you well. The lives it has claimed, it will always keep. And it will serve you as long as you are true to it and your mission.
Are you sure? Such an honor. Am I the one to wield this blade?
You should be the only one to wield it. No one knows honor as well as you do. That sword led us to the Dread. Before any of this, My father merely kept it. It is meant to take back what was lost, what was owed. And you will wield it well.
And I will wield it and do justice to the previous wielders. For Korthun, for our people, and for all of you.
You know, it used to go by a second name. Groundbreaker. For as you hit that, it destroys the ground around you, and even the earth shakes with your movement. Swing hard.
You'll see as he'll look at the weapon, examining it for all its beauty and all the power that is placed inside it. And you see as you begin to, or wield it, kind of doing it two like test swings, testing its weight. Sturdy, fits firmly in the hand. And look over.
I will do you all well. Thank you.
As Craven pulls another item out of this chest, roll me a history check, Elusia.
Whoa, another nat 20? Wow, that's so
Wow.
cool.
With an 8, you it looks familiar, but Craven will quickly. This was the staff of your uncle, Ogdril, the Shadow, left behind in this place. And you recognize this giant staff made of the same trees that you just ran through, this twisted wood, black in nature and kind of spongy and decayed, and I would see it used against him. As he hands it to Kaya, this it's called Life Stealer. As he hands you this staff, you'll strike with this with your spell attack modifier as a melee hit. It has 10 charges. It will siphon the life from another creature, and you will get the full value of that damage done as health.
Nice.
Elusia comes up behind you, kind of putting both hands on your shoulders and kind of leans in close. Be careful with that. It is dangerous. And it speaks things.
Well, strange voices whispering on the edge of perception are no unfamiliar thing to me. And besides, and I take it into one hand and I very carefully tap it onto the ground, standing a little straighter. Seems that we've got some reoccurring theme here, taking the weapons of a family to use it to strike down someone within it. It only seems fitting.
I know you'll wield it well. And she kind of gives you like a slight hug from behind.
And I'll put up my hand and embrace you as I can.
Please be safe, though. If my uncle has truly lost his mind, some of that madness may have transferred, and I don't... And her voice will kind of trail off and hesitate at that moment.
My cold-ass fingers squeeze you. I will be fine.
She'll release you in that moment.
He'll go back to the chest, and there's one more item left, covered, wrapped up. Out of all the items, this one has been taken care of with the most intention, it seems like, as it's got its own protection and everything else, as he will bring it out and take off the cover. Roll me a history check with advantage.
10. Whoa, another 20. Wow.
It's amazing.
Even with the 10, you know exactly what this is. This is an item that belonged to your mother. As he hands you a very long, ornate, golden bow. As he hands you your oath bow.
The Oathbringer. And as Elusia takes it in her hands, you see her begin to tear up. My mother would wield it well. At the start of each morning and the end of each day, she'd go to the highest point with this oath and light an arrow on fire to aim to the sky to remind everyone of the promise to care for this land, this realm. The oath she made to these people will not be forgotten. And she'll pull out a small little blade and cut along the inside of her palm and carve the inside of that bow now with her blood. And you see it almost as if it's being soaked in. And there's slight hinges of orange on the inside of that. And it hums almost with a resonance, accepting who she is in that moment.
As
Mother.
your blood soaks into this, the magic in this bow connects with your mind and with your soul, and even without speaking the words, you have named an oath to defeat the Shadow King, your enemy. You will have advantage against him with this bow. He cannot hide from cover, other than total cover. He can't have partial or half cover. You will have no disadvantage at any range with the bow. And if you hit your sworn enemy with this bow, he will take an extra 3d6 of piercing damage.
Okay.
Damn.
He's my promise.
While sworn to kill the Shadow King, though, you do have disadvantage on attack rolls with all other weapons.
There it is.
As you are sworn to this oath, magically bonded to this bow now.
What did I say about cursed objects earlier in the game?
I'm sorry I don't have anything for you. As he looks at Vithorn. Vithorn just kind of just smirks, rolls his eyes. Well then, I should send the scouts then, I think, at once, but while we prepare, while we wait, let us rest and feast. And this is a joyous day, a joyous occasion, even if we must go to battle and die for the sake of the void. This is the first step in reclaiming our home, and to seeing you in your rightful place, as he once again bows, despite your objections.
Eat and sleep we shall, then. Bring me some paper, though, for I have notes to write.
They bring you everything you need in this time to write these notes over the next several days or weeks. As this time goes on, is there anything, Kaya, Atalantos, that you want to do in this place over the next few days, weeks, to prepare as forces begin to train and come to this place and congregate?
I think I would like to seek out the arcane inclined here and seek an audience with them. Perhaps some of my knowledge of dead and dying things can be of some help. I am intricately attuned to necrotic things and that nature. Maybe I can pay it forward just a little bit.
Yes, certainly. We have a corps of mages here. Well, you met them in the forest. Together, very powerful, but not well adept at controlling the chaos within individually, so we would be welcome for your help.
Well, I am a teacher of cool calculation. Perhaps they can prove to be worthy students.
Yeah, he'll send you kind of on your way to the other side of the fortress, where on the daily, especially since the news of Elusia's return, people are out practicing their sword craft and their magic, and so you have an area of like humanoid type targets that people are throwing fire bolts at and stuff, and trying to do magic at.
Okay, can I do something? This is not going to matter for our
absolutely.
game here, but kind of like
Whatever you want.
planting a seed that's going to be long term.
Yes.
Kaya is going to try to subtly convert these people into warlocks. Have you heard of the Great Dread? Not so straightforward, but
the Great
there
what?
is duality. Dread. Just like smoke pouring out of my mouth. There is great duality in shadow and light. It is not an absence of the other. They coexist. Always. And a true master understands that in order to appreciate the light, you must understand the darkness. I will teach you the ways of the darkness, so you can think like our enemy, and you'll know exactly what to do when the time is right.
Yeah, over the coming days and weeks, as people kind of filter in and join this corps of mages, you start to procure an audience of subjects that are interested in your teachings. Kind of every time you're out speaking in the courtyard about magic or anything, there's a certain group that's a sizable group at this point, dozens of people that have kind of flocked to see what's going on, and they sit and you can tell them whatever you want, and they are inclined to listen and to learn.
Okay. I'm building my shadow cult, but the intention is absolutely to protect the people, to use the darkness for good, and to try to restore the rightful person to power that is Elusia.
Yeah, as many of these mages begin to regard you as their teacher. Please teach us the ways.
Okay, open your books to page 69.
Nice, because they flip through. Atalantos, in the coming days and weeks, is there anything you would be doing to prepare?
Small question: how many soldiers do we have? Like a rough random number estimate.
At first, it's a small garrison. It's a few 100, maybe 150, but more pour in from unknown regions every single day. 20, 30 groups of 10, groups of 5. Some not soldiers in their rights, but before long, the force is the better part of 500 or more.
Atalanto smirks after counting the number of the 500. And that's all he pretty much needs. Despite the numbers, Atalantos throughout these days, these weeks, he will actively get to know, trying to get to know almost each of them, really. Whether he is able to learn 50 of them, it doesn't matter. He actively will try to. He'll train with them. He'll revel with them. He'll become an extension of them. Day in and day out, he trains and explains to these soldiers that...
Now, listen well. You are only as strong as the shield beside you. any quarrels you may have with one another, any insecurities, they end when you wield the weapon in your hand. They end when you put your helmet on. Whether you like it or not, we have a goal, we have a mission. We will not fail. We will win, not as soldiers. We will win as brothers in arms.
As you address...
So, let us begin.
As you address this core of soldiers, they've all come at the news of Elusia's return, at the news of deposing the Shadow King. They are all different levels of fighters, but they're all very keen to learn from a soldier and to protect their home and to reclaim their, what many consider their birthright, as they as you give them commands almost in unison. Even as you're speaking, they follow the cadence of your voice with their swords and shields and their spears as they pound them on the ground in a rhythm that follows your speaking voice, showing that they are perfectly paying attention to every syllable that you say as that rhythmic pounding echoes off of the forest and the trees.
As this is sort of happening, he'll look over, and though he only started just looking at these individuals and only knowing their faces, he looks over, nods at the soldier sort of going by. As he was in an arm wrestling competition with him last night. Looks over towards the other individual. Oh, this one is looking to get married to his wife the next time he returns. He knows each and every one of these individuals, and that bond that he forms, that is where the strength comes from. Strength and unity.
And Elusia, how do you spend these final days before the planned invasion?
She does spend quite a time writing out letters, decrees, trying to foster support and to create an energy around this, trying to create hope once again in this land that feels void of life. She'll visit surrounding areas, talk to individuals, especially the scouts who will be the ones carrying her voice to the town. Let them know that things will be changing, that the spirit of the land will revive itself, that once again the void will find its strength, that the people will find their strength. Our stories will be sung, and the dread fortress will be as it once was.
And as you write these letters and proclaim these things across the void, more and more people, not even just soldiers, just people wanting to see you, to see who you are and any sort of hope you might provide, pour in from all over the void. They come from Brexmarin and from the distant lands undiscovered and untouched even almost, as they hear this news, and people pour in. And before long, this city of Atheranon, this town, this village, has become a city in the woods with tree houses and people even outside the walls that stretches for a mile or more in every direction, as soldiers and families and just even common people come to just be in the presence of this movement of the hope that you have provided for them. And as those soldiers begin to gear up for a battle, as the plans take shape, as they begin training and things come together, flying through the forest and over on the horizon, over the shoulder of everyone, looms that dread fortress as its glow emanates into the night sky. And as you fly into the mouth of that dread fortress, into the halls and the tunnels black and red banners everywhere hang as an air of seriousness and fog just kind of permeates this place as an evil, sinister type of music plays in the background. And as you enter the double doors of the throne room, a figure shrouded in shadow sits upon your father's throne. And that is where we will leave off for this episode. All right. We will see you all on the next episode of Skypiercer.